on, fellas? What's going on? I'm just getting some stuff ready. I'll be with you soon.
Yeah, hey, yeah. Shout to day 43, yo, that's the OG. HEX, crypto big payday, you gon' see. Yo, it's November 19, that's the day they predict. Every time I spit, I bring the craziest shit. Shout to day 43, yo, that's the OG. HEX, crypto big payday, you gon' see. Yo, it's November 19, that's the day they predict. Every time I spit, I bring the craziest shit. Yeah. Okay.
Man, thank goodness.
Hard to justify what the hell we're doing here, man.
He's phony, she's fake. That's the type of people I hate.
Yo, y'all know the lyrics. Come on, sing with me. Shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yam, shimmy, yeah. Give me the mic so I can take it away. Off on the natural charge, bon voyage. Yeah, from the home of the dog.
Man, it's unwrecked. Thank goodness.
Welcome to the HEX Late Show. It's 43 OG here. How you going, guys? I'm here by my lonesome tonight, but what a week it's been in crypto. And I just want to bring up the HEX chart immediately. Let me bring this thing up because it's looking magnificent. It's the number one thing I want to talk about. Let me just bring it up. Where are you? There you are. There we go. Look at this. This is a thing of beauty. This is a thing of beauty. Look at this. Late December 22, we're sitting on 1.7 cents, and less than 3 months later, just under 10 cents. And look at this candle. Look at this one day. Look at this daily candle from 8.49 cents to 9.76 cents. Unbelievable. Go Hex. Go Hex. Pumping hard. We deserve it. Hexicans deserve this shit. We deserve it because I know you guys in the chat, almost everyone in the chat has been here through the bear market. The whole time we grit our teeth. It's a year and a half. Oh shit. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I just realized I didn't post the link in the chat. So it's a bit hard to have, people like Tangent on stream if you don't send them the link. So just bear with me 1 second while I do this. But look, I can still talk. When the bear market started for us, which was sort of, when was it? It was sort of like late 2021. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know how long it was going to go. We didn't know how far down we're going to go. And I don't think anyone anticipated that we're going to get down to below 2 cents. I don't think anyone anticipated that. But I can say, like, we streamed, throughout the last 2 years. We've been streaming. We've been streaming for almost 3 years now, like every week. And we were here throughout the whole bear market. We didn't go anywhere. We were here, when there was FUD, like all the SEC FUD, we kept streaming. We didn't stop. And I know, like most of the people in the chat were also here for that entire like year and a half of the bear market. Like, because it's all the familiar face, all the familiar names in the chat, all the familiar handles. So we're getting through this. We got through this together. What's up, Tangent? How you going, brother?
Sorry, man. That was my fault because I told you I wasn't going to be able to make it, and then my plans changed in last minute. So yeah, cheers
good, dude.
For sending that, and I'm very lucky that you actually checked the chat.
Someone said it in the chat. Actually, I saw
that was me. That was me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my alt account. Remember how my YouTube got banned? So that's just like it's one where it still lets me comment.
Oh. Okay, gotcha. Nice. So yeah, dude. How good's the chart looking? Look at this chart.
Oh man.
This.
When I woke up today.
So good. It looks so good, dude. It looks so good.
When I woke up today, I thought PulseChain testnet had been released. I was like,
because of the
pump. Like I just thought the price had gone up so much while I was asleep that I thought the testnet had been released, but it
do you know
wasn't.
What the thing is that we always have to remember that because this shit's 24 hours a day, whenever any bit of news comes out, there could always be like a 10-hour delay before like one like geographic location gets that news because they're probably sleeping through it. And then that when they wake up, that might, they might pump the price. It might just be the guy who's going to pump the price might just be sleeping when the news comes out.
Yeah.
So
and it can even be longer, because say someone's doing something, like they're distracted, something's going on in their life, like in the evening, and they don't check Twitter or they don't check anything, and then they go to sleep that night, and then they wake up, they've got stuff they need to do in the morning. Like, it could even be probably over 12 hours. And that's assuming that this is a person who checks at least once a day. So it could be a 12-hour. So if it's someone who doesn't check their shit every day, it could even be more.
If you're doing something like if you, for example, if you're going to a wedding or something, you're probably not checking your Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, you're probably having fun. You're drinking, you're eating, you're dancing. You're trying to pick up bridesmaids.
I really hope that PulseChain testnet doesn't launch on a weekend.
Oh, right. Oh, yes, I understand. Dude, do you reckon it could launch testnet version 3 on April Fools, and then people won't believe it? They'll be like, bullshit. Like, just on the 1st of April, it just releases.
It's actually going to launch exactly on April Fools, because that's exactly 2 weeks away. Oh, no. Sorry. It's not. It's less than 2 weeks now. No, I actually think testnet has to be this week. It has to be. It has to be. These recent tweets from Richard are, you don't do that shit unless it's like ready to pull the trigger shit. Yeah. Because he's never really been one to try and like do fake hype shit. He doesn't do the announcement of an announcement of an announcement. Not really. Like, I know people say that he has been cock teasing, but in my opinion, his updates have been genuine updates. He's been literal with his updates. He's not like, yeah, guys, get ready, and then no release. Oh yeah, it's coming out, no release. Like, it's always been like, hey guys, this is what we've achieved. This is where we're up to. And then people interpret that to mean that the release is going to be within a certain time frame from there. But he never actually says that. But these last few where he's like, who's ready and shit, that to me indicates like imminent.
This one, I thought this is the one that made me think, okay, we're not far. PulseChain, PulseX.com news, the AMM bot is being tested on what will become the public V3 testnet. When it's done, PulseX will be tested, and then it can be made public. It's close. Now, the thing about PulseX is they're going to test it, but I think all the testing of PulseX would have been done on version 2B. I don't think like bringing that over onto version 3 is going to like fuck anything up. I think that should just like work as intended.
I think I agree, except that they might just want to be absolutely sure, like to be conservative and just be like, what about if there's something unforeseen that they didn't realize that the consensus mechanism actually does impact something that they just didn't. So it's worth testing it anyway. Like, it's just
they've got to test it, but ultimately that's what testnet version 3, when it goes like public, that's what it's going to be for, because they're not going to be able to like get every angle. And where like when testnet version 3, like I haven't been on version 2B or whatever for a long time. Same. A long time. It's like
as soon as it was the wrong consensus algorithm, I was just like, I'm not using it anymore.
Yeah. Once they changed over that part of it, I just like, I'm not even going to waste my time on this.
Yeah.
And that probably is, if there's a dev listening to this, they're probably like, you fucking idiots, you should still be testing the shit, because like the front ends need to be tested. That's what you guys are interacting with.
That's where we did plenty of testing on the other one. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Someone said it'll end up being like the most tested, like it'll end up being like literally the most tested L1 to have ever been released in crypto. Because normally they just do test in prod, like most have that attitude where it's sort of that under the banner of it's experimental tech, they can get away with having it half-assed out in production and then just work on it because they're like, well, you can technically fork it, like you can upgrade it with a hard fork or a soft fork. So it's not even though it's like immutable, it's not actually immutable. So, and I think there's just always, up until Richard Hart, there's just been this attitude of like, oh, well, yeah, you know, software's going to have bugs. They've taken that legacy software attitude and they've applied it to blockchain rather than taking the blockchain attitude and applying it to software. And that's why HEX was so different to everything else at the time.
So ahead of its time. So ahead of its time as far as the attitude.
I haven't seen many projects actually
developing it.
Yeah, but I haven't even seen that many. I can't point at any projects that have actually taken that attitude. You know, it was ahead of its time at the time, and it's still ahead of its time because no one else is doing it. No one else is taking that level of care with the code.
I would maybe make the argument that the things that are getting built on top of HEX that have been any good, they have taken that approach. I mean,
sorry. I was thinking outside of our ecosystem. You are right.
Yeah. So, for example, like Hedron.
Yeah.
Like Alex has done a very good job with Hedron. Like that shit works, man. And he's put something together which, in many respects, it's more complex than HEX, but it's built entirely on top of HEX. But it is more complex as far as your how you interact with it, like Hedron, ICOSA, that whole ecosystem, the whole being able to bid on like on the HSI auction, so you can bid on like stakes which can be tokenized as NFTs that are already in the HEX contract.
I do agree that it's more complex, but I think that's a bad thing. Like in general, as a general comment,
as a general bad thing.
Yeah. And I think that's actually the mistake.
Why is it a bad
everyone in DeFi has made so far is
why
they've gone. So Richard took the next small logical step. Hey, we've got the store of value in Bitcoin. Let's do something that can mimic a term deposit, right? Like have something that has yield as well. So it's basically Bitcoin with yield. Everyone else was like, let's go and create this thing. Like they got too nerdy. They got too excited about what a smart contract could potentially do. And they went to the other end of the spectrum and tried to make shit that was like really fancy that doesn't exist in legacy. So rather than trying to actually take over the products of legacy and make them better and immutable and decentralized and trustless and censorship resistant, they just went straight to the other end and they were like, let's try and do shit that hasn't been able to be done before. They came up with all these complex solutions, buggy as fuck, by the way, requiring admin keys, requiring oracles, all this terrible shit that breaks most of the important fundamental aspects of cryptocurrency. And then effectively, you know, the rest of this fairy tale. Everyone gets wrecked. Everyone loses their money. And then the devs just kind of go, oh, well, you guys knew it was experimental. You know, we were testing in prod. That's what happened. Sorry, guys, you lost millions of dollars. And it's not, I don't think it was the right way around. So I think we should have actually approached this from gone from simple to more complex.
I think, isn't that what he did with Hedron though? Like he started out with Hedron and then and from what I understand, he had it was always going to that second part, the ICOSA was always going to be there later on.
Yeah.
But he started with
I guess that's an example of where the complexity was done
incrementally.
more responsibly. More responsibly. My comment was more aimed at the rest of the DeFi craziness.
Yeah. But there's not much out there, I think. I mean, there's the perpetuals, there's the maxi and all that stuff. Which
they're still performing poorly. The non-maxi ones.
So this is, can I give you my take on this stuff? Like, if you're going to use them as something to trade in and out of, I think they'll probably perform poorly. But if you're looking to buy a percentage, like in a pool of a stake, that's going to cost very little, or maybe nothing to get your portion of the stake out at the end, and you can buy that at a discount, and you're happy with the timeframes, Like you're happy with, let's say, I don't know which ones are on discount, but let's say the 7-year one's on discount. What's that one? Lucky. Then you've got a 10-year one, which I know is on discount. And then the Maxi's on discount, which is a 15-year one. If you can buy the 7-year one, the 10-year one on discount, then that's, and you're deploying a very small amount of capital, that's not a terrible idea. It's not a terrible idea, but I don't think anything's ever going to beat like just having a HEX. Like I think having a HEX stake, like like you have the HEX stake, you're not relying on anything else. I feel like that is like the number one play.
Just to draw a small distinction, this is not disagreeing with anything you're saying. So Maxi is at a discount to net underlying value. However, the other ones are actually at a discount even to HEX. They cost less than a HEX. So it's like there's two different steps of discount here. Maxi still costs more than one HEX, but less than what its underlying value is theoretically worth. The other ones are less than a HEX. And so the issue that I have,
so which ones are less than HEX? Can we look at them?
Ones, all of them.
Can we look at them anywhere? Where can we look at them? I want to bring them up on the screen.
Like you can go on Dex Screener. You can go on. Actually, go to hexfire.io. That's an amazing site. That's really good. I think that's the one that's by Crispy Man. Is that right? Hexfire.io. It's one of the newer ones, but it's really, really good. And it's got a page that's dedicated to, there's a tab on the left that says Maximus DAO. And if you click on that,
there we go.
It's actually got all 5 of them here. It used to actually have a line that had the discount percentage, or it might have just been like the discount relative to a single HEX or something, but it's been removed. I think it was like having trouble updating, so he just removed it. But anyway, so you can see, see how on that row where it says, so it's got, I'm just trying to see which one would be like the most accurate at telling you that the, because basically you've got this one here, net profit from start. And that's weird that Maximus is actually the only one that looks like it's in loss.
I'm pretty sure Desi is as well. I'm not sure if Lucky is. I just want to address this comment in the chat, which is whoever has the seed words for Maxi can EES. I'll do my own stake. Thanks. Look, I can appreciate that, you know, doing your own stake is like, that's how you.
Is that true? Is that true?
No, that's, I don't, that is not the case. No one has the same.
I don't think that's true.
No, that's not the way it works. It's a,
it's another smart contract.
It's a public function. The EES is a public function that anyone can run when once the stake has matured.
There's another layer of smart contract in there that does it.
There is a layer of abstraction. There's no one actually holds the keys. It's an immutable contract. So I don't believe that. You know, I haven't read the contract. I don't know how to read the contract. You know, the code. So you know, but there are audits of it. So. As far as I understand, so you can go check them out. So this site doesn't actually give us the discounts that they're at.
It doesn't. It used to.
Yep.
It used to. But basically, I thought there was a way from this table that you could work, like that you could get a rough idea of what it was. But
can we just look at what HEX is at, and then if we just look at what the price of, let's say.
Oh yeah, that's one way. That's one way to do it. Is you just compare the prices. So you know that HEX is like 9.7 cents at the moment?
Yeah. So for example, here I can, no, that's to Desi that's to HEX. Is that right? Is it?
Shit, this doesn't actually even have the price in this table.
All right. How about this one? This is Desi, for example. This is Desi. And is that right? That the price of Desi is 7.2 cents. So right now you're getting almost a 20% discount,
even just on the HEX, let alone the
T-shares. Because this was done when T-shares were, so you're getting like earlier T-shares Okay, dude,
Yeah,
that's
it's like it's
if you,
insane. It's insane at the moment. It's insane. But see, here's
just
the
to lay
problem,
this
right?
out, if someone is wanting to do like, if you've only got a very small amount of HEX, and it may not be worth your while doing a very small stake, because end staking on the Ethereum network at least is going to be quite expensive. On PulseChain, I anticipate it's going to be not as expensive, but then who knows in 10 years what it's going to be, what it's not going to be. I mean, I hope in 10 years it is expensive on PulseChain, because that would mean that Pulse is expensive, right? But the point I'm trying to make is that this is at a discount to HEX itself, but it's had, I'm not sure how many days of operation. It's been around for over 6 months. So it's accumulated 6 months worth of yield, but it's still at a discount. So it's like, to me, it almost seems like, if you wanted to do a very small 10-year stake, maybe Deci is a good option for it. Like, maybe that's a good option. But, I don't want to ever dissuade anyone from buying HEX. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I'll tell you what the problem is. The problem is that if it has extended periods of time where it's undervalued by this extreme, where it's not even the price of a HEX, then it compounds the fear that it might never, like, people have that recency bias where.
But it will one day.
I mean, it will one day in 10 years when you can reclaim it for actual, like, at the end of the actual stake.
But that's the point I'm making, though. If you're not doing it to trade, do you know what I mean? If you're coming at it from a perspective of I want to trade this stuff, okay, like, I don't know what to tell you. But if you're coming at it, like, for example, there's
I get what you're saying.
This is 6.5 years away. It's been out for 6 months already. This is 6.5 years away. This one. Right, we're already almost 3.5 years into HEX, right? But this one's another 6.5 years away, and it's at a 15% discount, a 12% discount, 10%, maybe 20% discount.
Yeah, and the percentage you're talking about, it's more extreme than that. If you look at the percentage to net asset value, you're just talking about the percentage discount under the HEX price. Yeah,
exactly, because these have accumulated yield over that time. So. Yeah.
It's really surprising. It's surprising. It's just one of those things where the longer it goes on for, and it's been like that for a while. I think actually pretty much its entire life, like almost the entire life of these assets, they've largely cost less. Most of their lives they've cost less than HEX, which is it's ass about if you. So obviously base will be the first one that should actually correct to at least its 1-to-1 value as it approaches its reclaim period.
When's that one?
Well, they all started at the same time. So if you say that we're 6 months in, then it should just be another 6 months.
I can just see that the pairs have been made about 6 months ago. So I'm assuming it's around 6 months old.
Yeah. So basically with base, you would be able to actually claim from the smart contract in another 6 months. So and you can, at the moment, it costs less than HEX.
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
It is crazy. It's nuts.
But how much? Dude, that's like a 10%.
Yeah. It's like 9.1 cents for 9.2 cents for a base.
Do you know what? Holy shit. Dude, that's like you're turning the 1 year stake, the yield from a 1 year stake, you're turning it into like a 2 or 3 year yield at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably more. It's probably more than the interest you'd get. It's probably more than the interest that you can get if you can be bothered to wait 6 months and you get the benefit of that. Technically, you're still liquid through that period. Whereas if you look at your other options of, say you buy HEX and stake it for 6 months, you can't unlock it. Otherwise, you basically lose everything. Because remember, there's that 90-day thing.
The 90-day.
So you'd have to serve at least half. And then if you do it as an HSI, then you're basically effed, because at the moment, the ratio of the value of ICOSA to HEX is so bad. Like ICOSA is so poorly priced that you couldn't risk selling it back to the contract. You'd get ripped, like as in you would lose a lot of money doing that. So this is like This is like the reverse retardation of what was happening with Maxi. But notice how long that went on for, how it was retarded for a really long time, because once it goes in that direction, then people just do that recency bias shit where they're like, oh, well, if it's undervalued, it's probably just going to stay like that forever. And then, so it'll only be at some point, maybe closer to the redeem period, that people will popularize the idea and people start buying it up. But yeah, this actually looks like quite a good deal. Out of the four of them, this one would be the one I would be most inclined to get, because it's
what about Trio? How's Trio going?
Well, that one you'd have to wait 2.5 years to get it out.
Yeah. So
like if you like, as in i.e. if you're worried that the retardation could stick around, like markets being irrational could stick around for a bit. Part of the problem here, it's not problem. Part of one of the factors that's influencing this is the HEX price itself is pumping so hard. These things are having to try and catch up. So it's like, it's difficult for them to find or for the market to find buyers of something that's not HEX when HEX is doing that Bitcoin shit where it's just sucking the air out of the room. You know,
the other thing is, I don't think you could go in with a big. I don't think you could buy a lot of this stuff anyway. Like, I don't think you could buy it because I don't think the liquidity pools.
That's another good point. Yeah, that's another good point.
You couldn't just go in and buy like millions of this stuff, like, and say, hey, I'm fucking set. Like, I don't think you could do that. The other thing that's on discount, from what I've heard, are HSIs. HSI auctions are.
Bro, I tried it. It's a waste of time. Like, as in, no offense. Like, as in, no offense to anyone that's doing it, but Famous got me all wet for it, man. Like, he was like saying some of these HSIs, you can get them like super discounted and shit like that. Dude, I spent like a few days in cumulatively, and did not win a single one. And I was even willing to bid up almost to the 1-to-1 value, just and you're wasting gas the entire time because you're making bids. It's a fucking joke, man. Like, as in, unless if you've got a shitload of free time and you don't value your time, then it's maybe worth watching it and keeping an eye on it. If you value your time, it's a fucking joke. And so the thing that I was chasing as well is, I liked the idea of getting one where the one where the Hedron bonus was, you know how those Hedron bonuses, you can't get them anymore. So I was looking at those as well to see if and it's just people like overbidding for them and shit. Look, mate, it's possible that Famous just did such a good job of so maybe it was like that where they were just going real dirt cheap, and Famous did such a good job of promoting to people like, look at how cheap you can get this shit, that people like me started looking at it, and then it brought competition to the auctions, and then it made it so hard. Yeah, I think that might have been what happened. So credit to him. If that's what happened, then that's good, because ultimately we don't want these things going super cheap, because when they go super cheap, it's part of why the Acosa price is so fucking wrecked, was people were getting these HSIs for like a tenth, a fourth of what they should have been worth, and then just dumping them straight into the Icosa contract, getting the Icosa, dumping that into Hedron, and then going back and bidding on more of them. And it was like not a death spiral, but it was just a fucking repetitive sell pressure that doesn't stop until either people bid the price of the HSIs up, or some other thing happens to break that loop.
Yeah. So I think I agree with you, especially with the gas fees. That's going to change once we're on PulseChain. I think these HSI auctions are going to be
more competitive,
a lot more viable as well, because people won't be worried. Like, they won't be worried that they're spending $2 or $3 every time they're making a bid and then getting outbid. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to get something for a good price, you're gonna put in a low bid, but then if you get like pipped at the post like 10 times, you've just spent $25 to lose a bid. Like, it's not the ideal situation, but on PulseChain that's going to work. You'll be able to do heaps and it won't cost hardly anything. It will be insignificant. All right. I've got a clip here from this is just in relation to so let me just take a step back. So Richard Hart, he was talking about on his Twitter that when we hit the bottom, he'll stop bragging. Is that what he did? Is that what he said? Like, I'm going to stop bragging about calling the tops when we hit a bottom.
Yeah, his tweet said, "I'll stop bragging about my top call when I start bragging about my bottom call." But he's taken that away, and then he tweeted and said, because people were going, "Oh, he took it away. That means the bottom's in." And he tweeted to clarify that the reason he took it away was part of this rebranding himself as down to earth and not materialistic, not as materialistic. So no more flashy, I'm buying out the Louis Vuitton store. Here's my 1,000 horsepower Ferrari. You can't have this diamond because I own it. And going to here's photos of me as a kid. Here's where I grew up. I grew up poor. Like, so that rebrand, which he did, he wanted to take away the bragginess, which meant a pinned tweet about him bragging, whether it's past, present, or future, was not in line with that. Now, whether that was just an excuse to sort of maybe it's possible that he thought, oh shit, it looks like the bottom's in and my 11K call was wrong. I'll just try and bury this. But I believe him. I believe him because he's got that video clip where he was interviewed and he said, because of all the money printing, my 11K call could actually
that right here. Let me play that for everyone so they can see that clip, because that's why I brought it up, because he did say 11K and pray, right? But he did have the caveat. He did have the caveat times. That maybe they printed so much money that we only get down to 15K. So the motherfucker was right anyway.
Sorry for stealing the punchline of your
that's
build-up,
good.
man.
It's a good segue moving into it. So let me bring that up.
Bear flag. Wrecked. Fell to the parabola. Time to go down 85%. Down to 11K. Maybe they printed so much money you don't get 11K. Maybe you get 15K. But I don't think 30K is the bottom. Really don't. Because who's left to buy?
Yeah. If I was him, I would allow him to use that as a get out of jail free card. I wasn't wrong. Look, here's an interview when the price was still up at 30K where I said that it could be this. And I don't think that's unreasonable. And his other defense is actually, remember when there was that scam wick on Binance that actually went to 11K? That was actually shortly after his first 11K call. Binance actually wicked down to 11K. So it's like Bitcoin has multiple prices on multiple different locations. Like, is that like, and that's one of the biggest, most respected exchanges.
EBTC is 11K, I believe, at the moment, or was 11K at some stage.
Which one's
there's
that?
another GBTC.
Is it? Oh, true as well. That's because of their discount.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
so
good point.
There's another.
Yeah. So he's got like 3 or 4 different ways that he could basically be like, look, I was technically right.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
was right enough for it to be like that. You have to respect that he got it. How many other people said sub 20K until just before we got there? He was saying, he said that shit like that. What he said there, that was December 2021. Nobody was saying that shit back then. Nobody was saying that shit, man. Yeah. So Richard Hart was right once again.
I do think that
I'll give him the W on that one.
I believe that he will not commit to any of these excuses / justifications / things until he is absolutely sure that we are not still in a bull trap. Now, I think there is still a chance. For me, it's less than 5%. I think it's probably less than 1%, but there is still a chance that this is a bull trap and that we'll only go to somewhere between 30 and 40K and then go back down again and make a new low. So I think he's going to wait until we're well past that. And it's we're up at new all-time highs and shit before he even comments. Because imagine him using one of these excuses, and then he ends up being actually right, and people are like, haha, you bitched it and started using excuses, and then it was, you know what I mean? It's too premature for him to even start entertaining the idea. Now he's taken that tweet away. He can literally just leave it, let it sit, see what happens over the next few months, and then decide how to play it.
Dude, I think it's entirely possible that we go down, because there's a lot of exuberance. I think it's entirely possible, man.
Bro.
No, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying I think from what, dude,
it's
from
like
what I saw,
it's like a tiny percentage, man.
Maybe that's right, dude. I hope so. I really hope so. But
look, there's always
Bitcoin.
There's reason. There's always things you can point to.
Yeah,
you are or aren't talking about Bitcoin.
I'm talking about Bitcoin.
Yeah, I am too. So
I'm always talking about HEX.
There's always like things you can point to make a bear case in a bull market or a bull case in a bear market, always. So I'm not going to say that it's like 100% certain and that there's no indicators that show that like it could go back down again. But man, it's like the overwhelming number of indicators in every single category that you can look at, technical, fundamental, sentiment, everything is like that the bottom is in. Like it's at the moment, I think it's irresponsible to not be heavily weighted.
The only thing I would say to that is, yes, under normal circumstances, but I don't believe like the one thing that looms for me is like the war, like
all the war shit, a war escalation, like a significant war escalation.
If some fucking big bombs start dropping, that could scare that could scare the markets big time. Like that shit. That's the only thing that like I think, and there's like probably a lesser chance of that happening. Like I'm not saying there's a big chance of that happening or not. I really don't know. I think only the people in power know whether shit's going to go down. They might know that shit's going to go down. We just don't know it yet.
But also, can you be sure that wouldn't make the prices of crypto pump like fuck? Like, can you be sure that it would be a downward move?
No.
It could go up. Like, as in, if
awesome enough bank failures, like the bank failures
made Bitcoin go up.
Clearly had a positive effect.
These recent ones did. Yep.
Yeah. Because I think what also happened was people in crypto were in stables. I think a lot of people in crypto were in stables, and what made crypto go up is they're like, fuck stables, like with all this USDC depegging and DAI depegging, fuck stables.
Yes,
I'm not fucking around. Banks failing, fuck this. I'm just going back into the crypto, like, and I think that's what we've seen, right? I
think you're right. I think the timing was I think that the order and the timing was perfect so exchanges collapsed. People thought, shit, need to take my own self-custody, but I'm still risk adverse. I'm still risk off. So I'll have stables. Stables depeg. Holy fuck, can't trust these stables anymore. Maybe I should have no stable coins, maybe dollars in a bank account or something like that. And then banks start failing. And it's like, it's like, where do you run to when everything is just exploding around you? It's almost like the only logical answer was crypto. And so it kind of like shepherded everyone into going back to Bitcoin as a flight to safety. And then once that price goes up and people see that others are using it as a flight to safety, it reinforces the narrative. So I think we actually got quite lucky. It was quite fortunate.
It's good. It's good.
Really good. Really good.
Crypto did what it was supposed to do. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. Fucking awesome.
Finally achieving its mission statement after a decade. Like,
banks fucking up, crypto pumping. It's like, fuck yes. Motherfuckers.
Yeah, it has been treated as a risk-on asset for so long that people forgot what the fuck it was actually invented for.
Yep. Okay. So what do you think of this Trump shit, man? Trump about to get arrested?
I heard about it lightly. And then I saw it on your thumbnail, actually. That reminded me of it. Lock up Trump, lock up the stakes, or lock up the HEX or whatever. I personally,
I don't know a lot about it, but it just seems
personally,
like
whenever I hear anything, I just immediately think this is a distraction. This is designed to take our focus away from what is important. All of it, all of it, all of it, all of it. And I'm guilty. I'm guilty of being caught by this type of nonsense because I hate hypocrisy and I hate people being illogical. I fall into these arguments against like woke culture and shit like that, where I'm like, these motherfuckers don't have logical flow, like da 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 da. And then I'm like, damn it, I'm fighting against something which was designed to distract me, and I'm falling for it. We need to stay focused on the free Assange level shit. Like that's the shit that's important, is bringing back. So all the stuff that Richard Hart does, all the free speech, all that stuff, all the anti-government corruption, maintaining human rights, like being aware when our civil liberties are being eroded, being aware when systems that were put in place are being manipulated, the ones that were designed to protect us, like the whole journalists going to jail and shit like that. All of those things, we need to stay laser focused on those things. Those are the things that are going to wreck us, not whether, like some of the stuff, I do disagree with it, but it's not worth my time. You know what I mean? It's a distraction. And I think Trump getting arrested is another fucking puppet show designed to distract people away from what matters.
Oh, dude, it's definitely the other side of politics trying to mess with him so that he can't run or something. I don't know. I don't know how it works out, what the rules are over there, but it seems to me that they would want to have pictures of him, because he would have to like go get pictures, like he'd have to get the mugshot, right, front and side. And can you imagine, like, but do you know what's so dumb about that? Even if they couldn't pin it to him and they say, oh, he whatever, Trump is the type of character that would get those mugshots and use them in his fucking campaign or some shit like that. He would use that shit in his campaign. Like that is his style.
For a lot of people that would actually work, because people are starting to be so anti-establishment and so anti-government and anti-corporation that if he is seen as an enemy of the state, he will be seen as a man of the people. Like that would almost, I'm sure this is still a minority, hopefully a growing minority.
Dude, he'll release NFTs. He'll release NFTs.
He already
of
did.
His mugshot.
He did.
Of his mugshot.
His mugshot
Dude,
NFT.
that's hilarious.
Mugshot NFT. There's also a chance. There's also a chance that he's in on it. Like, as in that they're like, look, you need to do this for your country. We need a distraction to distract away from all of like the inflation and the oil crisis and economic crises. I don't know. I haven't kept up to date with that nonsense, but it's possible that he's a willing participant in this puppet show and that he's just going along with it. Maybe. I wouldn't put anything past them, man.
Yeah. So do you know the reason why I said before that I thought, like, just going back to our discussion about, because there's a lot of comments in the chat about like it, whether it's going to drop down or not. The reason I say that is because I think back to the last cycle and I think about when after the one token thing and then we dumped again after that, for the COVID, there was it the COVID dip after that? Yeah. Was in 2020, I think. And we always say that these things they rhyme, like they what's the saying?
History, it doesn't rhyme, but it repeats.
History doesn't repeat.
Rhymes.
It rhymes. Yeah.
It rhymes, yeah.
So the question is, are we going to rhyme on that level where we're going to have two? Like, is that the sort of rhyming we're going to have, or is it just going to, do its own thing? Are we just going to do its own? Is the market going to do its own thing? I'd be happy for it to do its own thing. Yeah. So, hey, there's a big shout out to the people in the chat. What's going on, guys? What's going on? I'm here with Tangent. I'm drinking my Mount Franklin lightly sparkling lime right there. It's not alcohol. I don't generally drink alcohol. I got nothing against alcohol.
Yeah, I was on a stream where I was actually drinking kombucha, but it was in like one of those cider cups. And so it looks a lot like beer in terms of its color, and it has the head and everything.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome. So I have a clip here from the effing hangout, which made me laugh. You know, we've spoken about this person, Georgia Carrera. We've spoken about her before. She's got a YouTube channel, but Hexagon. She jumped on the effing hangout the other day, and it made me laugh. So I thought I clipped it, and I'll just play it. See if give me 1 second. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think I've met her in a Twitter space a couple of times.
Let's have a look. Is this it? There we go. Tell me, can you hear this?
We're amazing.
That's my comedy.
Yes.
There it is.
That was amazing. Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay. Just a bit of context. This is an effing hangout, and she jumped on, but hey, no, I'll just let it play. Yep.
There it is.
That was amazing. Sorry, guys. I'm doing a Hi, how are you? It's okay. Do you want to say hi? We're live right now. You guys know about we're a crypto show. Look, we're live here from my kitchen. I didn't have a place. My kitchen sucks, so I came here to IKEA to do the rest. We have young. Are you in crypto? No. Do you know anything about crypto? You should check out HEX, HEX.com. It's going to make your kids a better future. Thank you so much. Bye.
Way to go, Georgia.
I don't have any coffee. If not, I'll invite them a coffee, sit down, and explain them all about HEX.
Hey, Georgia.
Dude, that is A1.
That is epic.
That is epic. She was in IKEA, and she just sees like randoms and starts shilling HEX on the effing hangout. Dude, that is gold.
But also, even just streaming from IKEA and pretending it's your kitchen is fucking lit. That is such a funny idea. Like, because they've got you could go to all those different rooms. Like, they've got, you know how they have like little studies, they've got kitchens, they've got living rooms. You have it, and like people would think it's your house. It's awesome OPSEC because people think it's your house.
Dude, that just remind me. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
like
so good.
Hexagon legend of the week.
Yes.
Lots of plum trees, a sheep, a two, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back.
That's a knife. All I had was me undies on.
Yeah, Georgia is definitely a Hexagon legend. Definitely.
Yep, agreed. Unanimous vote.
Absolutely. Okay. What else did I have? I had some stuff lined up.
You do great with the clips, man. Well done. Like, the clips that you get are good. Because it actually takes effort. Like, you know what I mean? Like the prep work to have clips ready to go, queued up, clipped properly.
Dude, it's actually it's not that easy. This is my shortcut, I'll tell you. I have an app that when I post to it, it shows up on my computer. I won't say what the app is. Irrelevant. And when I see a link on Twitter that's interesting, or a link anywhere, I'll just copy it and send it to the app. So it's on my computer, and then it's really, really easy. It's just, I don't have to like work. It's whenever I see something interesting, I'll just send it to the app, and then it's there, and I find it later on in the week whenever something comes up. Oh, something interesting that I thought I saw this week. Let me just bring it up. Where are we? So this is something that's going on in Florida. Where is it? There it is. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis introduces state legislation banning CBDCs. I read that, and I thought to myself, "Ooh, this is interesting. Look at this guy." So, how do you think something like that's going to play out? You know, so clearly, the federal government is going to want to bring in a CBDC, right? That's what they're moving toward. That's what it seems like they're moving towards. But this guy's like, not on my watch. So he's banning it before it even comes out.
Yep. Yeah, legendary.
I wonder if, like, wouldn't it be great if a few others follow suit and it becomes a
dude
thing?
On Crypto Panic news site, someone commented saying this DeSantis guy's a moron, and everyone else is like, you're an idiot. Like, you crypto CBDCs are the worst. Like, we definitely want them banned.
Hey, look, man, he might be an idiot. This guy might be an idiot, but the enemy of my enemy is my ally. So if this guy doesn't like CBDCs,
exactly,
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's
I'm of the opinion I don't need to agree with everyone 100%. I'm allowed to agree with, like Richard Hart says, the whole, like, if a homeless person tells you to brush your teeth, right? Like, as in I mean, he's making an assumption there that a homeless person doesn't have good oral hygiene. They might have like a little travel kit with them or something. But the point is, you're allowed to, you don't have to find human beings that are 100% aligned with every single opinion you have. And this one is a no-brainer. CBDs are bad. CBDCs are bad. So anyone who's against them on that topic, I'm with them.
I was trying to work out, like, I was trying to think, why is he taking such a stance? Like, is he
good point.
Like, why is he taking such a stance? Is there some sort of like illegal trade of narcotics coming through Florida or some shit in cash? Is there something that the CBDC is going to fuck up for him? Like, is there some sort of shit on the, like, I don't know.
Dude, drug lords would absolutely bribe politicians, man. So not all of their like lobbyists, not all of their like bribe people are necessarily corporations. So that's a good point. Good adversarial thinking, man. Like, you've got to just always assume that there's either a financial incentive or a personal incentive or some kind of other strategy going on as to why someone would do anything in this world.
Yeah, absolutely. What's going on, Jexa? Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you guys?
Jexa, sup?
10-10 is nearly.
How was squash?
It was good. I got my ass handed to me, but it was good. I had a good run.
Awesome.
But I knew going into it I was probably about to get the floor white with me, but that was all good. That's how you learn. Makes you tougher next time.
Hell yes.
Hmm.
Are you enjoying the HEX price, Jexa? Or
yeah,
not high enough?
I was very unproductive today, I've got to say. Between being on Twitter and looking at the HEX chart, I got fuck all done.
me last night, like questioning whether I was going to sleep or not. Just refreshing Richard Hart's page until eventually I was just like, fuck it. I just put my phone down and fell asleep. But like,
you're waiting for the it's all go live, is it?
When I woke up, I saw someone had tweeted like, "Oh, I'm about to go to sleep, and I think like when I wake up, it'll be launched." And I felt like replying, "Yeah, you know what? Like that's what I thought, but don't. It's no guarantee."
Yeah, I haven't slept for 2 years.
It's crazy. It's crazy that someone said something similar. Not that they hadn't slept, but they were saying that they've basically been ready for 2 years.
Yeah. I tell you what though, as soon as it gets dropped that V3 is live, I'll be running around like an idiot, not knowing what my plan is. Guaranteed.
Yeah. I think it's gonna, no matter how prepared you think you are, because you don't know what the HEX price is gonna do, right? Like HEX price could go straight to 20 cents or straight to above 20 cents, and then your whole entire plan of what you're thinking of doing might just be completely out the window. Like, it's crazy.
We have to talk about that, Jexa. There's things I need to know from you.
Okay.
There's information you have that I require.
Okay. Sounds
are we waiting? Are you waiting for testnet version 3?
To be honest, I'm waiting for my dev. Yeah. He's taken a full-time role with another company.
Yeah.
So, and he's in a bit of a position where he needs to. So, yeah, a bit of a shame. He's slowed down what I was working on. So, yeah, I've got something that I think will be useful for everyone, and when the time's right, I'll let everyone know. But it's not a sacrifice or some other raise or some other token or anything like that. It's something useful that I think, as a minimum, Aussies will use. But I think it will be useful for other people in the crypto space as well.
Nice.
And if you know me, it's all about security and being more tax efficient and things like that. Think this, the kind of tax efficiencies you get out of something like a liquid loans, maybe this will give you some of those sorts of efficiencies as well.
Nice.
Yeah, no, there'll be no GEX token.
No. Damn it. I was going to EES, man. Just to invest in that one. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah. No. So, but there's still stuff I want to ask you about in relation to that. What else? Yeah. No. So we've gone the 12 hours because at 11 o'clock this morning, my time, and it's almost 11 o'clock in the evening now. We have pumped from 8.4 cents to almost 9.8 cents. So that is quite a magnificent pump. I should work out what percentage that is.
It's pretty crazy. So no other, well, I shouldn't say no other. Most other projects, coins, cryptos, whatever you want to call them, have not kept pace with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been on a little bit of a tear. HEX is the only one. Sorry, I said it again. HEX is one of the main ones that has held its own and outperformed. And
HEX has outperformed everything in the first 3 months of this year. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything that matters. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
as in you've got to ignore the ones where they're like these unknown coins with zero liquidity, where if you buy $1 of it, it goes to like $1 million. Like ignoring all that garbage, like scam, like these projects that are just like literally rug pulls. Like you've got to ignore those when you're looking at percentage gains.
But don't get me wrong, there's a lot that have done really well. Like it's not like just Bitcoin and HEX have been on a tear. Like the whole markets in general has gone up and got some good gains. But yeah, you see everyone firing things off that all the maxis are going, no, nothing's outperformed Bitcoin, and we're just sitting quietly in the background.
Hey, do you know something that I thought was quite interesting? Ethereum did not make a new high against Bitcoin in the last bull market.
Is that true? Don't know. I haven't checked. Yeah,
it's
I haven't bothered to look. Yeah.
It's true. So that is very weak. That is very, very weak.
But I thought ETH outperformed though. In terms of returns, ETH outperformed, didn't it?
It did not make a new high in Bitcoin terms. So
it's in US.
So it's Bitcoin chart. It's Bitcoin chart. ETH Bitcoin chart did not make a new high.
There you go.
So it got to a new high in dollar terms, but not in Bitcoin. And that is the key indicator. That's the one that matters. So
I'd beg to differ.
Yes. If you can't outperform Bitcoin, then you're fucked. Like as in
crypto.
If you can't make a new high.
Sure, that's right though. So if you came in at the low on Ethereum with dollars.
No. Just look if it's.
I know what you're saying, but most people, if you're taking dollar terms, you're assuming.
You can't assume that people are going to time bottoms though, but
you're assuming that everyone's sitting in Bitcoin.
I'm not. I'm just saying that if you were to be a long-term holder of a coin, you would, and you were holding through that period, you would have been better off in Bitcoin. So in terms of this is looking at it as a more of a like long-term performance. Bitcoin, you were better off. Like it did not make a new high against Bitcoin in the most recent bull market. It is an important metric.
I'm just trying to think. Can it go up more against USD, but not go up more against?
Yes,
Bitcoin? I guess it could. Yeah.
Yes. If Bitcoin is rising in price, then that can absolutely happen.
Yeah.
So that surprised me, and it shows that Bitcoin, that Ethereum is losing strength against Bitcoin as time goes on. And so I really want to see HEX absolutely decimate both of them in this bull market. I want to see it. I want to
but
see new highs against
Yeah.
all three.
I don't reckon that same thing will repeat this next cycle. But just between the
agree.
BTC ETH thing, simply
agree.
because now ETH has flipped to being deflationary.
ETH is a different coin now. It's got different dynamic.
It's got lockups.
It's
and
a different thing. It's a different animal now. It's almost like a different thing.
And I can see tenders going proof of stake piece of shit. Yeah.
No, I was thinking about multiple things.
Yeah.
I was thinking about multiple things, but I was mainly thinking in terms of from price performance point of view. So proof of stake doesn't necessarily F up its price performance. I just don't know, like, a lot of these
inflation. It was inflationary before. It's essentially deflationary now.
Yeah, but man, like if you look at a range of projects, right? There have been many projects that have had like these tokenomics that sound like they're going to be great for price performance, like lockups, burns, all this stuff, and then those tokens go to fucking zero, man.
Yeah.
So it's like, just because you've got this new tokenomics that you've incorporated that sounds like it's going to have an impact on supply and demand, ultimately you still need the supply and the demand to be the thing that matters.
And I think that's the big difference, though. Those ones you're talking about don't have the demand, whereas ETH has the demand.
Yeah, but relative to it, needs to be its demand relative to sellers.
Okay.
Total tokens and versus Bitcoin. Like,
okay, I'll put it another way.
It's not just how much demand it has to make it; it's also how much demand it has relative to Bitcoin in terms of scarcity.
Okay, I'll put it another way. For ETH, if the demand stays the same as it did last cycle, and the tokenomics have shifted so that there's lockups and burn, theoretically price performance should be
This is the critical thing with what you're saying. All things being equal.
Yeah.
All things being equal, then yes, a change in the tokenomics will have a positive effect. But I'm just saying I've seen this many times before in projects where they're like, "Oh, we're going to start burning tokens every week or whatever,"
totally
and
agree.
you think it's gonna help the price, and it doesn't. Like it. So
look,
I just
if we have 300 Gwei,
I wouldn't rely on that because it's a big.
If we have 300 Gwei transaction fees on Ethereum in a bull market, $600 trades, that's going to put a real stopper on people using it, and I think Pulse might take something away from ETH as well. It might
massive, massive.
It might take a bit of that economic energy away. That's what I'm hoping for anyway.
No, I think it will, but I think each cycle we end up in the same position where fees blow through the roof.
We are pumping.
And I think it's more for like every year there's more people, we get that snowball effect, that network effect. So each year there's going to be more demand, you would think. What are we up to? Ooh. Might happen while we're on stream, hey? We might hit a 10 cent.
Yeah, let's get a 10 cent hex on.
We used to get all the good pumps on this show, didn't we?
We used to get good pumps on this show.
People were saying that we might get
we are pumping. Look, 8 point.
Yeah.
9
point. Yeah, someone was saying that we should try to get 10 cents while we're on the stream. They wanted us to see us like super excited.
Yeah. we were like that, dude. Were we doing that when we got to 5 cents? What was it? 1 cent or 2 cents?
1 cent was a big moment.
Yeah.
Once we broke through there, and last time we got to 10 cents, that was when the candles got lit.
We have been very excited on this stream many times. Not so much in the last year and a half, but many times before that, we used to get very excited. We used to get quite moist.
It is looking pretty damn solid, isn't it?
I remember the first time HEX started really pumping hard, where it was like doing full cent moves within a day. Like you could check your phone later in a day and it would have gone up by a full cent. And
like today.
I remember being in a nightclub in the middle of the city and just on the dance floor and almost being scared to check my phone because the price would just be so pumped that I just wouldn't know what to do. Like, as in, it just psychologically, I was just like, what the fuck?
I had that very same thing in 2017 when I was out having dinner, and every time I refresh my phone, I would lose about 20 grand. I had a bag of IOTA, and it had gone up so fast it was cranking, and then literally within a month I was poor again.
We didn't have a bag of IOTA.
It was the most expensive dinner I'd ever had.
I've definitely had experiences like that where I've checked my phone and been like, "Oh my god,
make it stop."
And then really regretting looking, being like, now that's on the, like, it didn't ruin my night, but like just would have just preferred to have not known until later.
Yeah. I had my wife calling me up going, you realise what's happening? I was like, I'm out. I can't do much about it.
Now we've got... No, you go.
I was going to say, there's a tweet that... Dollar Cost Crypto tweeted out, and Jex actually replied to it. But the tweet that he tweeted out, I thought was worthy of us perhaps having a look at.
Yeah, if we're going to go full moon boy, we might as well.
Well, I just wanted to know, and then I just wanted to know what you guys think of this. So he goes, just to clarify, $2 HEX is my bearish top for EHEX. My just right top is 5.65 for the 10,000. For the 100,000 X. And if everything goes right and goes bananas, $25. And like he does throw in the caveat here. And just to clarify on how we hit $25, it will take exchange listings, Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, Binance, proper listings on CoinMarketCap sites, CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, the FOMO of the top crypto channels, successful movie launches, documentaries, and
right.
Pulse become that is like everything goes perfect. That's like everything goes perfect, and but what do you guys think of like the more like the $2 and the $5.65?
I'll come back to the $2, but I've got to say our biggest shill at the moment is Ivan on Tech.
Oh, bro,
he's going full retard.
Yep,
he must have bought a big bag of HEX, bro.
Yeah.
He must have bought a big bag of
the
HEX.
bags.
But he has. No, but he's on board with the philosophy of it, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, it's not just he's just not like
no.
dumping. He's fully on board with the
yeah.
immutable contract.
He actually gets it.
I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's shilling it hard, like as in he mentions it every day.
Yeah, I think he's genuine. Like he's excited because of the pump, man. Like he probably missed it last time, and he's got a chance to reboot. And hopefully load it up at the bottom, and he's good on him. Like if he's coming in, he's supporting it and pumping his own bags. Hey, I'm all for that. But the $2 thing, I reckon that's pretty doable. And I don't want to sort of blow everything up too much, but just we put the chart that I posted after this tweet. So I think I retweeted this tweet or something. And I put a chart in there, and it was the Bitcoin HEX chart. And it's the one you've probably seen where it's got the first bull flag and then goes into the second bull flag, which we've just broken out of. If you search on my name, you'll probably see that one. But the measured move lines up perfectly with the $2 mark. So, if you have that one. Don't know if you can make that big. So you got the first bull flag, and then the pole of the second flag, that yellow dotted line that runs up along the chart there. I've basically copied that and pasted that up to where we've broken out just recently. And that's how you get your measured move. So that's how I've come up with the 7,000 sats. And at Bitcoin's price today, if it just follows through and that's where the target is based on the technicals, that gets you to $2 HEX. But that's assuming the price of Bitcoin doesn't budge. So let's just say Bitcoin continues to go up and HEX still outperforms it relative to Bitcoin and hits that target, then that $2 mark moves along with it, because 7,000 sats could be $3 or. So it's not totally.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
What's
oh
wrong?
Man, look at this. 0.09947. Dude, I'm gonna have a heart attack on stream.
Shit.
Are we gonna hit 10 cents?
I
on
thought
stream?
I thought something was actually wrong with like either this estimate that he was doing or something else, like that was non-crypto related.
I just can't believe how quickly it's moving. It's just going hard, dude. We were so used to like sitting around the 2 cent mark for so long. And then when you see this stuff, it's like just pumping. It's like, damn.
We've had to be very, very patient.
And I was giving props to people in this chat. People in this chat, right? We've been here for the last year and a half, and we grit our teeth, and we've been here. We got through the bear market, we got through the tough times, and the people in this chat were here. They were here. So
everyone kept showing up.
Props. Yep, absolutely. You guys know who you are. People in the chat who were here the whole time. You guys know exactly who you are. Props to you. We did this together. We're 997. Gee, we're still going. I think we're going to hit 10 cents on stream, hey? Let's hit 10 cents on stream. Let's do it.
I think it'll do it.
Fucking do it.
Yeah. We need to do it.
Hang on. I'll just tag Ivan in a tweet and get him to pump it a bit more.
We need to do it. Tell those other guys that get upset when we stream too long that we're doing this for the team. That we're streaming till 10 cents and we don't give a shit. Like, as in that.
I don't think we're gonna have to wait long. Hopefully, it's we've had a few cracks.
Yeah, it's basically there, right?
Yeah, but you know what happens every time we hit a number, we like move the goalposts,
jinx it, and jinx it hard. Like when you're like, yeah, it's gonna hit 10 cents, and then it just goes.
So really, like we should be. Like the logical target is about 11.8 cents. So 10 cents shouldn't be a biggie. We should push straight through that. Once we do, I reckon you'll see it jump up pretty quick.
I think we can go higher than 11.8, man.
Oh yeah, if you get a FOMO blast, yeah, for sure. Like
well, testnet version 3 comes out and it's actually functioning. Like this is happening with just like the odd tweet here and there but once it comes out and it's functioning, people see it works. That's going to instill a lot of confidence in the market. A lot of confidence in that.
There are some people that think that it's like that V3 testnet is going to be a snapshot and that they have to own the HEX. So part of these pumps has been people getting that wrong and thinking they need to own the HEX before this V3 launch. So I've been trying to tell people in comments where I'm like, no, it's not, doesn't work like that. It's not a snapshot, it's a fork. But I mean, that misunderstanding, if it's pumping the price, I guess it's not that much of a problem. But people have definitely got that wrong.
Yeah, I think anyone that's been around for the last 18 months would understand that that's not the case.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But there were like 4 comments on Richard's post that I had to correct. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if anyone has been paying attention to MEXC that now.
Oh yeah, what happened there?
So granted, it's a centralized exchange, but the volume I'm pretty sure it had 1 million. Was it? I'm not sure if it was 1 million HEX or $1 million worth of volume. But hey, you know what they're like? They could just be.
Oh, true. That. Wash trading.
Wash trading it, yeah. So, but if that's the case, that's not a bad start because that introduces you to a whole new market there. And I know there's some people are like, oh, we don't need centralized exchanges. But I think the reason I said this to a private group that we help out a lot. And I always said that I thought MEXC would be one of the first ones to list Pulse.
Nice.
But the reason being is simply because they were the first to do ETH, POW, ETH Fair. So they were leaders in supporting those chains. So I think they would, they're trying to get volume. So I think they would be pretty keen to support PulseChain. They're going to get a bag of it anyway, so they might as well support it.
Yeah. I guess that means that may be an incentive for people to get an exchange account there, because how one of the I don't get it, but a really common question is, how am I going to get my money off this chain? Like, is it going to it's not worth anything if I can't get the money off the chain. It's like, oh my God, bro, there's like a million ways you can do it these days. There's like side shift, and like there's centralized and decentralized exchanges. There's bridges. There's a zillion ways you can do it, but people seem to worry that they're not going to be able to get their money. And so this could, if they're going to be supportive, and this obviously is an indicator that they're going to support the ecosystem, the fact that they're listing HEX, the timing is very
understand this is in a trial mode though. This is in the sandbox. So when they list a new token, they put it in, not always, but what they've done with HEX is it's in a sandbox. So it's basically on probation. So they'll see how it goes, and So
so it is real trade. It's real trading though. It's not.
It's real trade. Yeah, it's real trading.
It's real trading. So, but they reserve the right to remove it if it doesn't work out. But like our coin is like the most popular coin in all of crypto. So I think it'll pass the test.
So if you're interested, if I was wanting to make sure I had maximum possible routes and options when PulseChain goes live, I'd be setting up an account there. It's like Benny Blanco said, you don't have to KYC. I've used it multiple times, and I've never had a bad experience with them.
Nice.
So I do not leave any shit on there. I never leave anything on there. But
this is MEXC, yeah? MEXC.
Yeah. But as a bridge, that's fine. Like, they're fast.
Also, what sort of quantities? What sort of volume?
It's ample, man. Like, it's a few BTC every day sort of thing.
Also, very importantly, your HEX, when it's on an exchange, you may or may not get your copy. Like, correct. As in, you are relying on them to give you your copy. Just be aware of that if you're going to put your HEX on an exchange, to try and like show support for their shit. And also, Maury made a really good comment here that I wanted to just mention before I forget. Going on from what I said about people making that mistake, he has commented that RH said no warning for mainnet. So that's a similar impact, but without a misunderstanding. Like, i.e., you're not going to know once V3 launches. It could be like he said, no warning. So you might as well have your HEX before V3 launches, because it literally, you're not going to get another warning.
Yeah.
So that's a good point.
Yeah, I think we're at the pointy end of it now. So don't fuck around. Don't
fuck around.
Sit on exchanges, and but just make sure you've got avenues of how you can do things. You've thought that through, because you may be able to extract value from some of the alts and stuff that you get given. And
hey guys, check this out.
We're through.
10 cents. 10 cents.
Does it count on Nomics?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah,
I'm taking it.
Through. You're taking it. Taking the win.
I'm taking it. 10 cents is 10 cents.
So Dex Screener still shows 9928, but even that's close enough. I was gonna say, by the way, like, I promise this is true. I was gonna say, if it doesn't hit 10 cents while we're on stream, I'll do a Twitter space after the stream. If you guys were like, no, we don't want to keep going, we'll just end it. I was going to take it into a Twitter space until 10 cents. I had actually originally said I had 3 criteria, and then I eventually added another 2. I wanted it to be above 9 cents. I wanted a clear technical path, in my opinion, for it to get to 10 cents within like 3 days-ish, like maximum amount of time. I wanted Richard Hart to confirm that he would be willing to come by into the Twitter space for like even just a few minutes, just to say hi and congratulate everyone and share in the excitement. And then later I added that Twitter had to fix the problem with Android phones not working in spaces, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be able to even host the space. And the other one was there was another criteria that was kind of like outside of my control. And Richard never agreed to come to the space, but now we're actually so close that, because my attitude was like, if I'm going to dedicate like 3 to 4 days of my time, the least he can do is come by for like 5 minutes. And I know everyone would froth for that shit, right? Like everyone would foam for it. So, but now we're so close to 10 cents, then I don't need Richard's 5-minute commitment. I can commit, like, what's it going to take? Like hours maximum. So Dex Screener hasn't quite hit it yet, but yeah. So where do you think that 43? Where do you think that one gets its source from to already say 10 cents?
Good question.
By the way, is HEX Twitter absolutely losing its mind right now? Because they were going off. They were going off at like 9 cents.
Yeah, everyone was pretty excited today. Everyone was pretty fired up. Now let's have a look.
I'm just having a look. It's coming back. It's coming back from 10 cents now, so it's starting to drop a little bit. So where are they getting that data from? Hey, it hit 10 cents somewhere. It hit 10 cents somewhere.
Everyone in chat's got to go drop 5K on it.
No, you know what I'm going to do? Yeah, it's changed. So yo. I just searched Twitter for 10 cents, like 10C, and to see who's talking about it being 10 cents, and everyone's going off about it being 10 cents. So yeah, people saying on Nomics it's 10 cents. It's like when the first fireworks go off at like 11:58. It's like, fuck it. it's a new year already. Have you seen people posting the Australian price? It was like earlier today, it was like already 14 cents. Because the exchange rate is like 0.67 or something crazy like that. Not crazy, but something that's gone below 0.7, which means our shit looks even better. Like the HEX price looks even better in Australian dollars.
I think we did technically hit 12 cents on MEXC, but
we hit 18 cents on MEXC.
18 cents on a wick though.
Yeah.
It was like less than a minute. Like it was like just wicked up. Someone must have been real keen, but really not keen to use DEXs. Like, you know, there are some people that like, they won't buy an asset until it's available on exchange. They just don't do it.
And to be honest, like the DEXs do price out a lot of smaller people who just want to get a teeny bit.
Oh, true as well. Yeah, that's a good point. The gas fee stuff.
Yeah. Like,
but you're not going to wick it to 18 cents if you're only buying a little bit.
No, that's true.
I've got this.
Sick. This is sick. Everyone's losing their shit.
Yeah, of course, man. It's a milestone.
Everyone's losing their mind because people are like, we dropped a zero. We dropped a fucking zero.
That's a big goal because it's a big psychological goal.
Yeah.
Once you get above that, or what happened last time is 1 cent moves from there. It happens quickly.
Yeah, we've been.
This is
through
where
this
refreshing
before, right?
Staker app gets fun.
Yeah.
Once we broke 10 cents the first time, it started going big moves.
Yeah.
I'm even clicking on posts that are in different languages. I don't even know. It's just got the word HEX in it. They could be shit talking. I don't care. I'm just clicking like on everything.
I've got a... Hey, HEX Down Under, don't chill other streams on my show, brother. Don't chill other people. People are here for us.
Was it at least a HEX stream? Or what one?
Yeah, it's a HEX stream. It's a HEX stream.
A conflicting stream, though.
Yeah, Crypto 7. He's
I do like his streams.
I like his streams as well. But
I have noticed... HEX Down Under, can you go onto his channel and tell them all to come over here?
By the way, I've noticed that our stream conflicts with his daily stream because I sometimes get off our stream, go and check YouTube to see if there are any new crypto videos from people I subscribe to, and see that he's live. and I'm like, oh shit, our shit must actually conflict with it. But he does a video every day, so it's like
we do it once a week, man.
Yeah, we only do once a week. So I'm not saying that gives us priority. I'm just saying like it's not that bad.
I'm saying it gives us priority, man. He can take it off. He can take a Tuesday off.
Speaking of that,
isn't he in the UK?
He actually hasn't. Yeah, he's in the UK. He actually hasn't
yeah.
streamed for a few days though. Like he hasn't streamed for like 4 or 5 days.
So I saw this tweet today from Hex Mac, and he was tweeting about Black Mirror season 4, episode 4. Spotted a Hex necklace.
It's spot on, isn't it? That was a cracker.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Now, I was about to talk about that. I was about to mention that.
Did you see that? Check this out. It's like a Hex necklace right there.
But it's actually like the spot on.
It is legit. Like it's got the 3 hexagons.
Now,
but
I don't want to. It's pretty crazy. That's awesome. It's like what the fuck.
But it's not
before anyone gets too excited, this shit was made in 2017.
Yeah. So that triple hex logo must have existed on that jewelry before Hex.
No, bro. It just means that Richard Hart's marketing is fucking next level, man.
Richard Hart's marketing goes in a time machine and goes back in time. It's that
he was thinking about this shit in advance, man.
It's that galaxy brain that the marketing hype makes its own time machine and goes back in time and fucking plants it.
That's the AI.
But it is crazy that it's the exact logo. It's not just a hexagon. It's all 3 of them. It's
crazy. They line up perfectly too.
Like when I looked at it, I was like, it must be the actual Hex logo. Like this must someone who's involved in the show who has some kind of decision-making ability in terms of the costumes or wardrobe might have been a Hex fan or something like that, but obviously not if it predates Hex by that much. Yeah, Maddie's in the comments. He said they took the DeLorean.
DeLorean, baby.
Yeah, we should have immediately realized that we do actually have a time machine within the community. I might go reply to his tweet about that.
Check this out, guys. The genie escapes. Stanford copies the Chat GPT AI for less than $600.
You know what though? That might be a little bit deceptive because they might have taken the open source code but the hardware it might be the hardware that they're running it only costs $600. However, they're probably not counting the storage cost for the data that you use to train that they may have already had. Stanford may have already had a shitload of stored data because they're a university, and they could have used that as training data. And so this could be misleading that they're not counting the cost that you or I would incur in being able to, because you need a shitload of training data. Like you need an absolute metric F ton of training data, and you can't just go and you know what I mean? Like you need to have storage space for that shit.
Have you guys ever watched Altered Carbon?
Alpaca AI. Yes.
I've seen it around. I've never watched it.
Watch it. It is an awesome show, and it shows you where the whole AI thing can go. They've done a really good take on it, and to the point where everyone has their own personal AI. And
yes,
a hotel is an AI. Like the hotel is essentially alive, like it's its own entity.
It's a living, breathing hotel.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's true though. So when they made the first computer, it took up a whole factory, right? Like it was the size of a factory, and now we've literally got them in our pockets. So the AI, like I just said, that the amount of hard drive space you need to store all the training data is an insane thing that you can't fit in a domestic, like that you wouldn't be able to do yourself. But in the future, you probably be able to fit it on like a SD card or something, like all the training data. So like, I'd have no doubt we will have like personal AIs in our pockets and shit. And for anyone who's watching, that's like, we already do, because you can go to this AI. I'm talking about like not just access to the AI through the internet, like having the actual AI in your pocket.
I think it'll get to the stage where like you plan your day with your AI and it organizes things for you. And it's going to be, we're going to end up so integrated into the tech that we have around us. It's pretty scary, to be honest.
I just want to be able to use an AI that doesn't do the woke shit. If someone provides me an AI like that, I won't need my own. I just hate I hate the censorship. I hate this. Like I hate I have to worry that I'm going to break the terms and conditions, get my account taken off me for like talking about something that is like gray area. It's effed. It's absolutely effed. Sticker Guy just tweeted out retweeted the Richard Hart tweet. You guys understand that 10 cents doesn't actually matter on the way to $100, right? Now we get to recycle all the memes. I remember in Bitcoin, those like manga, like 5,000, like where it's like all the Dragon Ball Z shit. Like we got to use those in the Bitcoin community because we went through those prices more than once. And then even you get to use them on the way down as well. But
just not as fun.
Yeah, it's just not as fun. Just get people unfollowing you rather than following you on the way down. This is sick. So imagine, like, look, if we're at 10 cents and we don't even have V3 yet, get the fuck out of here.
So we washed out a lot of big accounts just recently. Like in the last probably month or two, there was some big sells where people dumped a lot. Don't know what the reason was behind that, whether they thought the world was about to implode, or who knows what the reasons were for that. But hopefully I think we've sort of washed out a lot of those guys, and that gives us a little bit more headspace, hopefully. Go up without getting...
That's the tweet, I think. Yep. That's the Richard Hart tweet. Sticker Guy. Let's click on that. You guys understand. When was that? How long ago?
Must have been the first time we
June.
Yeah,
June 19, 2021. That was before the sacrifice, the pulse sacrifice, I think. Cool. Very, very good.
So those guys that you think dumped, do you think they'll FOMO back in? You reckon that?
Yes, I do. If they're smart, they will. Because do you guys remember me talking about how sometimes if you sell and buy back higher, even though it looks dumb, if you take those individual points in time and account for risk, it can actually have been a smart play. So if you look at the price that you're buying or the opportunity cost as you go in and out of the asset, factoring in the risk, you could be like, okay, this is too risky at the moment because it looks like we're continuing to make new lows. So you exit and wait to buy in at a price that it's higher but less risky.
Oh, yeah, it's confirmed it more.
And so I don't think so. One of the things I want to try and encourage the community to not do, and look, guys, I've been guilty of this, mocking the people who have sold low, or people who were waiting for a lower price, with an implication behind what you're saying that you've missed the boat. I think we should be propagating the narrative, which I believe is true. This is not a lie, that there is no missing the train. It's HEX is the train station. If you miss one train, you just get on the next one, right? Like, there's no point. Like, we don't want to make people feel.
Yeah, the T-share price will always be more.
Exactly. The T-share price is always going up. It's bull. Like, if you think that the uptrend is more confirmed now, lower risk, etc. I don't think we should be implying to people, whether directly or indirectly with our tweets, that haha, sucked in, you guys missed out, you're wrecked, we're rich, you're wrecked. Like, because people will be like, oh, I've missed it. It should be, bro, it's not too late. Like, yes, you made a mistake and you're not going to make as much gains as if you'd bought lower, but it's not too late. We're still going up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
we've officially
no one
hit,
in Hex,
hang on,
no
sorry,
one
I've got
in
to stop
Hex
you there.
thinks that this is it.
I've got to stop you. We've officially hit 10 cents on the main pair. So we got through.
Like
Exactly
no one in
10
Hex,
cents.
no
There
one
we
in
go.
Hex is here for selling at 10, like or 10.1. Like everyone in Hex still believes we've got much more to run. So we should modify our messaging to people who either are still on the sidelines or who never were in Hex or who were in Hex but they panic sold the bottom, that it's never too late to get back in.
I'll put a bit more context around that. And this goes for Bitcoin as well. So we sit there and we go, oh, Bitcoin's at the end of its adoption curve and it's slowing down. If you've got money in the bank and your options are leave it in the bank or put it in Bitcoin, I know where I'd rather have it, because even if on Bitcoin's worst cycle, it's got to do a 2x or a 3x, you would think. That's crazy ass gains in any normal language. Like if you were in any other investing circles, to get 100 or 200% returns in a couple of years, that's crazy. You'd be stoked with it. So and the same goes for Hex. And for me, Hex was always that thing. If you've got spare cash, where's the home for it? Like where is there a better place? Now, obviously, pretty shit when you're in a bear market, but if we've flipped that around now and we're gonna inch up, it doesn't matter as it gets higher and higher, and until you get to that peak of the market. If we're gonna have the implosion again, it's still a good bet. Like it's still a better place to have your money, especially with what's going on in the world now. Obviously, you don't want to be buying tops, but
think about all the people who saw the
Agreed.
outrage marketing that are going to recognize Hex and Richard Hart when it's at $1.80 and go, fuck, I should have bought that back then. I'll buy it now. Yeah, hey, I was playing around with Look Into Hex. If you guys know that website, it's the
Gerardo's one.
I was going to say Ronaldo. Gerardo.
Geraldo.
I had to go and turn aircon on because I'm just overheating from all this excitement. It's crazy.
So he made like an awesome site. I think it's an awesome site. Can you see that?
Just before you go into, I'm calling bullshit on the Mango Junkie. You're telling me you haven't been a steak wrap in months?
Too scared.
Sorry.
I point where I wasn't opening it up. It was just too
painful.
Bro, it was too painful.
Sorry, 43. Keep going.
All right, so check this out, right? I think this is this chart here. I really like this chart because this is comparing the ROI from launch of BTC, Ethereum, and Hex. It's also got the Hex shares, BNB, Hedron, and Maxi, but I got rid of them because I guess the Hex share is not irrelevant, but BNB is.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So these are the three that I want to compare, right? And I'm just looking at this, and like this is just me looking at this and saying, okay, what do I think? Where do I think Hex could go? And I look at where it's gone. It beat Bitcoin and Ethereum to this high here. 149 days. It beat Bitcoin and Ethereum to this high here at 685 days. It beat Bitcoin, Ethereum to this low down here. No, but what we're seeing, the point I want to make is that Hex oscillates when it comes to ROI. Hex is oscillating more than Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I just wanted to speculate, where could we go from here? Like where could we see
not a higher frequency though? You don't mean like the wavelength. You're just talking about it's outperforming to the up and downside on the same.
Yeah, it's going higher up, and it's like when I say oscillating, I mean just like visually, it's going higher up and then lower, like down lower. So I was thinking, where could it go if it went like, if it was to continue this trend?
It crossed over.
Right? Then it would need to go higher than this point here. And it would need to go higher than this point here before this point up here. Right? So this is like a 12,000 ROI. This one here.
It would need to do it now, because it's like, remember, these are like all at the same starting point in their life.
No, it doesn't need to beat this one right now. I don't think it's going to beat that one right now. But if it came,
it has to go vertical.
Yeah, no, but it's just like if you look back here at this one, you could have said the same here. You could have said, oh, HEX is not going to beat this BTC top here, but it beat it later on.
Oh, okay.
It went higher. And the same could happen here. Like if HEX at some point goes higher up here, and I just wanted to speculate, like, what would that be? What would that look like? And that would be a 12,000. That would be 12,000. Like that's the number there that they've got, which is the ROI. So I'll do a little bit of quick maths, which we're never supposed to do on stream. We're never supposed to do on stream. So let me just do a quick. So the bottom is 37, right? So I'm going to go and take, hang on, no, not 37. Where are we now? We're at 172, right? 172 is 10 cents, right? So I'm going to take 10 cents and divide it by 172, right? And multiply that by 12,000. Let's just make it 13,000 if we're going to make it a little bit higher, right? Multiply by 13,000. Oh, that's all right. Hang on, let me do that.
We're going full moon maths tonight, aren't we?
Moon maths, bro. Moon maths. Am I doing this right? I don't even know if I'm doing. This is why you don't do maths on stream. This is exactly why you don't do maths on stream.
While you're doing that math,
yes, okay, I got it. I did an extra zero, so that would tell me that if if HEX went up here and went past this BTC point and went up here somewhere, anytime up here before this point here, then it could be said that HEX beat Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it would have all the way up to day, probably day 2,400 to get up there. And to be higher, if it went up to 13,000, it would be $7.55. If it did go up there at some point.
So $7?
Like $7.55 I've got, because I multiplied by 13,000. But if I was going to do it by 12,000, which is what BTC did. So this is not based in
no science.
There's no science at all. I'm just saying, hey, if this line followed the pattern and kept like going up higher than BTC and going down lower than BTC, if it keeps doing that, then it could, if it did that, we'd be looking at $7, right? Over $7.
Yeah,
that would be crazy. That would be absolutely crazy.
It's called bro science.
I'd have to go back and have a look at the charts that we done last cycle, but that sort of lines up with, I think, some of the charts we'd pulled out last time when we were speculating on where things would go. It wasn't. They seem like silly numbers now. But as you start moving up in cents, and then you start moving up in 10-cent increments.
Oh yeah.
But also the narrative at that point is that, hey, HEX is still beating BTC. Like that's the narrative. It's still beating BTC on ROI because at the moment, BTC is like BTC from launch is beating HEX, right?
Just wait till it flips BTC on market cap, bro. People are going to lose their fucking minds.
Yeah. So we're on Coin Paprika. We're moving up the ranks. We've flipped XRP. Nomics for me is the one that's the one I want to see get flipped because I know Clay, for whether you love him or hate him, he's probably one of the metric sites that has put the most work into trying to understand what was going on and trying to rationalize things. So for me, once you see us flip XRP on there, that's a big deal, I think.
So we maybe do we need to be like 14 cents or something? Do we need another 4?
You don't need much. I think there's
we're like 14.3 versus 20. Yeah, they're just under 20 billion.
Yeah. Is that on Nomics?
14.3 on Nomics, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, look, let's face it, it's all horse shit, and they all.
We need another 40%.
Yeah.
How's my fucking estimate? It's exactly 14 cents. Damn.
So I think that the reason why I'm saying that is you can't you can say all the shit you want at the moment, but if it has legitimately climbed up those ranks again and flipped them on based on all the hard work they've tried to do to quantify things, you can't
make it more fair.
Yeah, to make it more fair. Yeah. Like what do they then stand on? What do they start saying now? Like
their attempts to make things more fair is like when the government comes to help, like the SEC investor protection and
that's right.
I'm from the government. I'm here to help. I know. That's cool. Wait, by the way, also, I don't know if you guys saw, I tweeted out like a range that we were oscillating in on Twitter, and we've actually broken out the top of that. It's fucking epic.
Cool. 10 cents will get blown through. Like we'll have to go up and just probably give it a retest. But if we settle on top of 10 cents, the fucking lid will come off it for sure.
This is I tweeted this out with this white squiggle, basically showing that we've oscillated across here. So I'll show a bit more of the history. So we came up here. This was us at like 5 cents, 5.3 cents. We come up here. We've gone into this channel, and right now we've broken out of the top of it. And like you said, we could maybe come back, retest 10 or something like that. But yeah, this is looking really good. You know, look,
hourly, is it?
The higher this is HEX USD on hourly, yeah. So like the higher the price goes, the more bullish I become, because it's just like it's more and more and more things, technically, fundamentally, everything, that sentiment, everything becomes more bullish from here. So it's assuming that the price keeps going up or consolidating sideways. Yeah, very, very happy at the moment.
Oh, that remind me. I just saw a message from Magic Carpet Ride. So do you guys know anything about they've like done I think they've done like a HEX type staking project, which is based on NFTs.
Steakhouse or whatever they've called it.
Steakhouse?
I don't know anything about it.
Steakhouse. Yeah. It's like no, it's not NFTs. It's an ability for anyone to make a pool, like make a staking pool trustlessly.
So it's similar to
but sorry, it does make an NFT, but not like an art NFT. Sorry.
No. It's like it's like a HSI type thing.
Sorry, I don't even think of that shit as NFT. Like it would be like when someone says, like, when I'm a Uniswap LP provider, if someone starts talking about NFTs, I'd be like, dude, there's no NFTs, even though technically you do get an NFT that represents your LP. You see what I'm saying? As in,
what is it?
It would be like me saying, oh, look, HEX, by HEX, you're interacting with a smart contract. It's like, that's just the obvious underlying tech. That's just a function of it. That it's like, so
the difference is, so this is the project that I'm building uses all the NFT standards. So you are actually using the 721, the ERC 721 standard for things like that. Okay. So that is an actual NFT, and we've just been we've become accustomed to profile picture NFTs, which are dog shit.
Yeah.
But the actual use case for the NFT tech is actually quite good. So
Hang on,
think of it.
candles lit. I just read someone saying that candles are lit. Did Richard Hart tweet lit candles?
Actually, you know what? You know how we do sometimes refer to ERC20s, right? Like as another way of saying tokens, like tokenized assets. Perhaps that's a way that we can get away from the idea, this art NFT idea, since NFT has become synonymous with the art ones. We could say ERC 721. So is it 731 or 721?
721. Yeah.
Tweeted 1 minute ago. Tweeted 1 minute ago.
Oh shit! He did. Oh shit! He fucking
This
went
is
there.
serious. This is some serious shit right here.
Oh,
if you're new to the Richard Hart ecosystem, lit candles is some serious fucking shit right here.
He would have got a screen grab off an old stream. Though. He would have gone to an old stream.
He probably hasn't got that set up anymore.
But that's good enough. But that's good enough, man.
Enough.
It's the sentiment that matters.
Yeah.
Well done. By the way, I don't often directly congratulate Richard because I've just got this opinion like the community already sucks him so hard that like I don't need to add to that side of it. So I rarely actually directly give Richard props publicly. That's just not the relationship that we have. But anyway, like he deserves.
You did a great impression the other week, though. You did a great
me
Gobby's impression. You're doing the impression of Gobby's. It was so good, man. It got clipped, and it was on Twitter. It's somewhere on Twitter floating around of you doing the Gobby's thing. It was excellent. You're very good at doing that, man. Very good at that.
Wait, did I do like the tongue one? Like,
I don't know. Why didn't you show us?
Like visual? Was it like a visual? I don't remember. I don't remember actually doing that.
Why don't you get your gold microphone and show us?
I don't actually remember doing a Gobby impression. Do you mean just like verbally talking about it, or?
I think you were talking about it, and you were getting into the description of what you were talking about so much that you were
like
T-Bird knows what. Yeah, you were just like, T-Bird knows. He clipped it.
All right, T-Bird, I'm trusting you with that.
In case I decide to go in. T-Bird, can you find me that clip, please? Find me that.
In case I decide to go for a career in politics, like this fucking nonce on the background of this fucking stream here, this fucking Darrow.
So it looks like we've been streaming with Biden the whole time, doesn't it?
He seems to like what we're doing, though.
All this talk of Gobbies, mate.
He must not understand that I'm quite anti-government. Like he looks quite happy about it. I don't imagine he would really understand what's fucking going on these days. But again, that could just be an act.
Oh, have you? I went down a rabbit hole the other day.
Hang on, you think he's acting old?
Acting like he's got dementia. Like possibly.
No, I think that's not an act.
I just don't trust any shit that I just don't trust any shit I see from that when it's presented to me.
Have you ever been down the celebrities and politicians are clones rabbit hole?
Oh, I've seen the lizard. Like I've seen lizard people one, but I haven't seen.
So there's So they're clones. And
robot clones or genetic clones?
Genetic clones.
Genetic clones.
And the way you can tell is when they've been compromised, they send a photo out on socials where they've got those moon boot things you wear when you break your ankle or your foot or something like that.
Yep.
Google that. There is a whole group of people that believe when someone sends that out, that's a picture of their clone saying they're compromised. Fucking whacked out people.
Wait. That's how they signal to everyone who doesn't know that code.
Yeah.
To tell
to all the other clones and stuff.
To the other celebs.
Yeah. It's a fine line, man. between crazy conspiracy theorist and
I can believe the one where I can believe the blackmail conspiracy theory that once if someone has something over you that you really don't want people to find out about, that they can modify your behavior by threatening you with the release of that information. I believe that.
Yeah, and I think it
ties lizard people and shit.
And I think it goes back to Epstein and his island and all that as well. So, yeah, go down that rabbit hole if you've got a bit of spare time on your hands.
I just want to make it clear that I think Biden is a very old man. He's a very old man with, I don't think his brain works like it used to.
No,
but there's supplements, bro. Like that, if you're the president, you'd be like, get me some shit. Get me some shit to wake me the fuck up. My mind is foggy. Get me some fucking shit.
Get me some shit to climb a set of stairs without tripping over.
You'd be on TRT or like you'd get some supplement. You get some those lion's mane mushrooms. You have some shit to wake you the fuck up.
Man, but what you got to understand is, that is him on all of that shit.
They go to the next level. Get me those Air Force amphetamines. Like it would just be like you would be like, keep leveling this shit up until I can actually string a sentence together, please. But yeah. Were you about to show a clip?
Was I?
Were you about? I thought you were about to show a clip.
No, he was trying to find a gobby clip.
Oh no, sorry, that's right. I was looking for the picture. I was looking to see how bad this picture of me doing a gobby impression is, and also I want to see this lit candle. I want to see this lit candles 7 minutes ago. So this is whoever posted that in the chat. They are onto that shit.
Yep.
Someone
is just refreshing.
Someone is Twitter. Dual watching our stream and Richard's Twitter, like both live, ready
and the chat
to go.
Here we go. Mine's still on 1 minute.
So he didn't put any commentary there, just that picture?
No commentary needed. No commentary needed.
Yeah. That'll be getting a few likes and retweets, no doubt.
Only 250 retweets so far. We need to bump those rookie numbers up, boys. That's 250 retweets in 8 minutes. Shit. That's like more than one a second. Wait, no, sorry. More than one. Wait. No, it's not. And that's why we don't do math on stream. Let's look. 8 times 60.
More than one every 2 seconds. Just go with that.
Yeah. More than one every 2 seconds. That's fucking crazy, bro. A retweet every 2 seconds? What the fuck?
So, legitimate question, why are they not green? He got rid of the green candles completely. He used to have green candles. He got rid of them. But
he
just
said
if this makes any difference to you, red candles are what they use, are bullish
in China.
And they are a big chunk of the world's population. So I think we can live with red candles. Yeah,
it was something to do with the aesthetics and not popping on the camera.
He said it was like the color scheme shit. He said the red candles just look better in the frame.
I actually disagree, man. I think the contrast of the green candles.
I also liked the green candles. Yeah,
because the background behind, you've got that red wood color, and I think the green pops better.
He is actually a master of that shit. You know, when he said that, when he was talking about where he said there is very rare color combinations that go together that are actually colors with high contrast, and he talked about pink and mint. This is going back a really, really, really long time. So only people who have watched like all of his content will remember this. But I actually found out later, it's actually true. And it's to do with the color wheel. And that's why there's so few combos, is you want colors that are opposing on the color wheel. So you're talking like orange and navy blue, pink and mint. Like there's only like 6 or 7, because there's only like fucking like 8 on 10 colors or something around the wheel. So you're maximizing the contrast to your eye without it being black and white, which is obviously the maximum contrast you can have. So I think he knows his shit when it comes to like this kind of stuff to do with colors, photography, and shit. But I agree with you. I actually, to my untrained, non-artistic eye, yeah.
I'm not saying that he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I mean, I was taught from a young age that just because you've got money doesn't mean you have style, and that people go in and go into a luxury store or luxury designer brands and wear clothes that make them look like fucking clowns. Like, this is not talking about Richard. This was told to me as a child. Like, just because you spend a lot of money on your clothes doesn't make you look good. Like, a truly stylish person can go and shop in some fucking Target or like Kmart or some shit and look like a supermodel. And
you see that with houses and everything. People build quality houses and things like that with their
cars, houses, clothing, fashion accessories.
Some people just like that cheap blingy stuff, and it looks cool. Yeah,
and some people just use price as a proxy for how it looks. So the more expensive it is, they think it's just better.
Yep. Yeah.
But keeping in mind, having said that, remember Richard's goal was not to look good; it was impact. It was impact and social signaling. So he was never on a mission to look good, like stylish.
I think he was happy to play the clown. He was
He was exactly. He was actually deliberately doing the opposite. So yeah.
And it's still like that has. We all know that triggered people, but even today,
it's been memeable. It's
he got on national TV with the photo of him sitting on the plane where he reenacted what was the bloody
Pablo Escobar? He did like a sad Pablo.
Yeah.
And then didn't they put the Ukraine dude, his wife's face on it? And then when people were myth busting that,
they found Richard.
He got promoted.
Yeah. So he all that sort of shit is next level. Like, it just cuts through. Like, and it's really, really hard to cut through in today's attention economy. So,
if that was someone in the HEX community that created the Photoshop version, genius. Taking something that's really, really hot button topic that's everyone's screaming about, all the wokes are going off their mind, and taking something that is Richard Hart related and feeding it into that narrative, so that then when they myth bust it and work out that photo is not where it's from, that's like galaxy brain level shit.
And he's people still don't get it. Like I was saying on Twitter today, there was someone there. They're going, "Oh, all the Hexicans, they just don't understand that he's just blowing all their cash. Like he's out there spending all their exit liquidity and he's spending all their money. They just do not get what's going on. Like, they can't fathom it."
Yeah, technically it was his money. So it's like,
if anything, it was probably their bags that he was dumping on them, bloody BTC and ETH. It's true. Like, that's what he would have been.
Bro, that would have been such a good reply. Actually, it's your money that he's spending.
Yeah. People just don't get it.
I'm sorry to tell you this.
That top that you're seeing.
You are actually the one paying for all this shit, not us. He hasn't sold a single HEX.
Yeah, that top that he called. There's a reason why he was able to call that. Yeah.
By the way, sorry, you go.
No, you go.
I've been talking a lot. You can go.
I was going to say, everyone in chat. There's probably a lot of people. You would think everyone in chat here remembers how PulseChain got its name. Has it been long forgotten?
I remember.
Anyone in chat
14.
not know how PulseChain got its name? I think everyone should know.
Pulses.
We know that, yeah. Because
I think there's going to be a lot of people that have no clue.
They got no idea, right? So
Yeah.
in a stream, Richard Hart was talking about how to have healthy, and this might be incorrect, but to have healthy ejaculation, you should have like 14 pulses. And I remember actually Blue Bum was like arguing, saying it was the woman that needed to have 14 pulses. So we still don't know. We still don't know what's what. But that's where the name Pulse came from. From that,
yeah, it was community. It was the community demanded it. Richard said that he didn't want to call. Like, he was like, that wouldn't have been my choice, but there was just so much community demand for it. We're going with PulseChain.
But it's actually worked because it's tied into hearts and beats.
Yeah,
and it's just flowed in really well.
Yeah.
And if you're coming from the outside, you have no bloody clue. It would just, you'd go, oh yeah,
By the way, the logo is also sick. Like the Pulse, it's a fucking sick logo.
Your favorite Richard Hart
like
tweet
it
just
better.
happened. Tangent.
Lava. Yeah, boy. Oh man, could this day get any better? Could this day actually get better?
Well,
could have 14 pulses, bro.
It could, because the price is still going up. So
Have a magical 15th pulse. Just unlock Easter egg level 15 pulses. 15 pulses. Fucking guys. So I heard there's someone that I respect within the technical analyst space, crypto technical analysts. I'm not going to name them because they're more of a Bitcoiner. It's not Tone Vase. different technical analyst, and he made a really interesting point that I think is worth repeating because we're seeing it happen in HEX. Is when you're having impulsive moves, sometimes the pullbacks will not necessarily come back to retest levels, and sideways consolidation is an adequate replacement for a pullback. And you've seen it actually a lot on Bitcoin and HEX throughout this entire start of the bull market since the start of the year, where you see these flag patterns where it basically flags up. We go up, we flag. That flag is basically a consolidation at the highs, which is the equivalent of a pullback. So it's because it shows that there's just so much momentum and so much strength in the market that you don't get the traditional pullback down to the level before moving up again. And so it's just a demonstration of excessive strength. So you need to factor that in terms of if you're waiting to buy on pullbacks, you need to factor in that the pullbacks might not be as deep. It might just be more of like a sideways-ish pattern. And also in terms of to moderate your expectations or fears of it going back down to like conform to those technical requirements of a pullback. It's like effectively an equivalent. And I like his idea, like I like his comment and I agree with it. And I'm seeing it right now on the chart, 10.2 cents. This is what Jexa was talking about. You better believe that shit is going to move quick now people are thinking in tenths of a cent rather than, tenths of 10 cents, which is a cent, rather than a tenth of a cent.
Yep.
10 tenths of a cent, motherfucker. Yes.
So there is nothing between 10 cents and 11.8. Should.
Oh yeah. Where's my next resistance?
That should get up there pretty quick, I think.
I've kind of actually stopped bothering doing TA to the same, like, oh, where's the resistance going to be when it's just like,
it's valid though, but it's
still worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you say, that's where you'll get your little flags as you hit those. And
yes. I've been looking more at BTC actually, where I've had this attitude. Notice that BTC has been flat, right, since the start of the week. So we got a nice weekly close on BTC. One of literally the biggest green weekly candles on Bitcoin in months and months and months and months. I think it might be something like 3 years. We've had the biggest green week in Bitcoin for 3 years. And even then, that was like nearly equal size. So that particular week, that was like 3 years ago, it was like April 2019. It wasn't like heaps bigger. It was approximately the same size. So we have been sideways since then. So the entire, like basically this week, we've just been at like going sideways at the 28K. And this counts as what I was just talking about, where it's kind of like a pullback to have this consolidation at the highs. It's bullish, but it is allowed, it sometimes allows alts to run. And whereas other alts might not be doing that great, HEX is just absolutely full rocket ship to the moon level shit. This is glorious. Absolutely glorious. It's a great day to be all in on crypto.
So do you think we're coming into the perfect storm? Like there's a whole lot of shit going on around us in the macro world. and that obviously we've seen $1 million Bitcoin bets and all sorts of crazy shit being put out there. But do you think that everything's that fucked that this is just going to be like the perfect storm?
Yeah, it's looking like it. I think we were talking about it a little bit just before you came on, that it's like the order that these things happened and the approximate timing of when they happened was really good. I was saying, you weren't here, but the FTX collapse made people take self-custody seriously. The stablecoin depegging made people question whether stables were really a good way to be hedged. And then the banks started failing, which made people realize that crypto was the way to go. And so when you eliminate those three options, centralized exchanges, stable coins in DeFi, and legacy banks, it's real crypto like HEX and Bitcoin. That's it. That's it.
Are we going to 1 million in 3 months, in 90 days?
for HEX or for Bitcoin? Either.
Well,
both. Why not both?
You know, if it's not HEX, it's sub-mil FUD.
Something else I want to mention that I haven't been jamming in people's faces lately much, which is true, which I used to say a lot, is it's true that typically in crypto, the mad gains occur in short time periods. Richard popularizes this idea as well. If you are out of the market, so what did Bitcoin do in the last 2 or 3 weeks? It did a fucking 40 or 50% gain. It might only do 100 or 200% for the entire bull market, and you've missed a quarter of it or more in just by being on the sidelines.
That's every market. That's property. That's bloody equity. They all do that. They crab along and then they jump up.
Going in and out shit. The biggest risk is not being exposed when the pump occurs. So I've always said the only wrong amount of crypto to hold is 0. The only wrong amount of HEX to hold is 0. If you believe in crypto, you should have exposure, at least some exposure, so you can reduce your exposure, but you never go to 0. If you're completely out on the sidelines, this is exactly what happens. And Murphy's Law will make it happen exactly when you don't have exposure. That's going to be the time it happens.
Absolutely.
Well, that's and you see it that's why we have blow off tops. That's where you get the mad ass crazy run ups, and that's why it's very, very hard to time a top, because you've got a very short window for you to cognitively realize what the hell's going on, and then you've got to combat all the FOMO that goes with it at that same time. So it's just really hard psychologically to push the sell button, and when you're seeing things rocket up like that.
Guys, this is here is the PulseChain GitLab, and there must be a lot going on here. So we can see 14 hours ago there was some Aragon Pulse updates.
Pulse I saw the screenshot that people were tweeting out with the green boxes that showed that everything had been updated within the last at the time it was very recent. It was minutes.
So we think this is going to be the V3 GitHub, I'm assuming.
I think it is.
I think this is the GitHub, dude.
Yeah.
I think this is the GitHub.
People that have been following this have been following it on previous testnet launches. So they also have the context of what they saw happening prior to the launch last time. So there's commentary on Twitter that's basically saying, last time when this happened, it was within 48 hours that the testnet launched and shit like that. So it's there's quite a lot of
dude, this is just going to give us the this is just all the staking stuff, the command line stuff. Okay, cool.
This is this is sick. This is what we've been waiting for.
So they'd be doing all this on their private testnet, and then they'd be pushing this out. Just as
Richard even made a tweet where he said something along those lines, where he's like, "It's being tested on a thing which is going to become the public testnet." So it's this is great. just see this. Watch this. Yeah, Hex has been leading. Hex has been leading my watch list. I mean, even if you just bought yesterday and made 14% in a day, you would be like Yahoo! I'm a genius. Let's go play Mario Kart. Like,
so that's when we start seeing all the likes of your, what's his name, Mitch Ray and all that. All the traders pile in when they can see a chart looking really juicy.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
So people will be watching that, and they don't give a shit about Hex or community or anything. They'll just be watching the chart.
If you'd bought 13 hours ago, you've done 18.3%.
Nice.
Not bad.
Yeah, half a day. So that's on average, it's like over 20%. It's like 25% a day. And if you multiply that for yearly ROI,
what's that APY?
Yep, 7,000%.
I've been saying the whole bear market. Whenever anyone's been like, no, I want the price to go down so I can buy even more Hex and my onboards get a better deal, I've been like, shut the fuck up. Price up is the best advertisement. You're fucking doing it wrong. I've been
that's true,
rallying against that shit the entire bear market, and now like this is just reinforcing what I already knew. Price up,
but that's
more price up.
That's just cope.
It's cope. And Jexer, that's exactly what I used to tell them. I'd be like, you guys are either idiots or you are doing max cope. Like, it's just such a cope statement. It's like, I'm seeing it on the Richard Hart tweets. Out of like, Richard's like, who's excited for PulseChain? And it's like 99.9% of responses like, yes, come on, dude, we're desperate. Please fucking pull the trigger. And there's like one or two dudes in there. It's like, oh, I'm chill. I could wait another few months. I'm good, Richard. Whenever's fine. It's like, shut up. You don't actually think that. Like, no one's thinking that. Don't fucking lie. Like, oh no, I'm good. I'm delaying gratification. Shut the fuck up.
Dude, I've definitely been guilty of that.
I'll tell you what you're not delaying. You're not delaying me slapping you in the face because this is fucking nonsense. Cope.
I'd like to come, but I haven't been losing my shit. Like, I understand how long it takes for shit to happen, so I haven't been stressing or anything. But maybe 5 years down the track, I'll be pissed off. But 2 years for something like this is not a big deal.
But I think the reason it became so
stressful
was people mentally, like their mental preparation. If Richard had said this could take 2 to 3 years, I don't think a single person would have been like, oh my God, hurry the fuck up. Where is it? Like, but because there was always this idea that it could have only taken maybe like a couple of months or whatever. And it was just like kind of a constant, it wasn't Richard's fault, but it ended up just inadvertently being a constant dictase. And then people start to get like, what the fuck? Like, come on. And then it bred all that shit, that nonsense where people were like, it's a scam. It's a fucking rug. It's never coming out. He took your money and shit. It's like, oh, bro, you guys are so dumb.
Don't forget, people sacrificed at higher price points than now. So that, I think that's a positive. Wouldn't you say?
If you assume that the price hasn't been going down behind the scenes. Like, I think we've talked about this before. How do you figure that out? Like, so like you're making an assumption of something that you can't possibly know, that if it had launched while we were still bullish, that it's going to come out at the same price, really it's not even that. You're assuming that when you go to sell your first portion of this project, that the price wouldn't have taken a different path through the universe based on when it launched, which is nonsense. Like, of course, it's going to be a different thing, right? Like, theoretically, if it had launched at the very start, it would have already gone through part of a bear and back into a bull cycle again. So it's like, it's going to be completely different than launching now. So you can't say what I'm trying to say, because
this is true. Yeah, this is true.
43 looks like he thinks
this is just more cope. This is more cope for my.
I'm trying to draw the distinction. But sorry, you're saying you're doing cope. Possibly, Possibly. So I'm trying to draw a distinction between, say, the Mt. Gox shit, where they say, hey, this was a forced hodl, because the market of what Bitcoin's doing is independent of your coins being locked up in this Mt. Gox legal battle shit. However, in Pulse, you can't make that same claim because the market doesn't exist, and the market not existing is an impact to not it being the same future of the price.
So
what you could argue, can I jump in? What you could argue is that in the last year and a half, Richard Hart has been banging on about Pulse and PulseChain and HEX and the ecosystem, and has been casting a very wide net. And I think the argument could be made that there are a lot of people who didn't know about PulseChain, didn't know about HEX, who now know about PulseChain and HEX.
Good point.
But didn't have a chance to sacrifice when it happened. Didn't even have a chance to sacrifice for PulseX when there was a sacrifice for that. And now that it's actually on the horizon, like on the foreseeable horizon, like we're getting tweets that are like, it's close. And, you know, I think that these people, I think they're going to want to buy Pulse. I think they are.
And the HEX price going up high enough that people don't think that, because while HEX price was going down and down and down and down and down, there were people out there that thought that the entire thing was a scam, that HEX was going to zero. PulseChain was never going to come out. It's like a Richard Hart scam ecosystem. I had a friend tell
me that 2 weeks ago on the phone.
And now,
on the phone, and they'd sacrifice, and they're like, dude, it's not coming out. And I'm like,
I've got about 10. I've got about 10 people that would want to buy his bag.
And I'm like, you're not like, you need to think more critically about what is going on. You need to look at what has happened, and there's no way that it's a charade.
Yeah.
Because
it
doesn't make sense.
I
Like
always told people you wouldn't make a test net. You would just take everyone's money and fuck off. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. It makes no sense to put that much effort into making operational test nets. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So basically, what Richard done is over the bear market, there is absolutely fuck all he can do about price. Like the market's going to tank. People are going to sell. It's linked. Like it's, whether you like it or not, it's linked to the broader crypto space. So all he done was use that entire time to get eyeballs. Just go out and get attention. Yep. However possible he could get attention.
He got a lot of attention.
Went on all the streams. He got positive attention. He got negative attention. He was just out there whoring himself around to try and get as many eyeballs as he possibly could. Now that all pays dividends at this point. Now he's flipped the script, and now it's okay. Now it's serious. Now
he's got over 300. He has over 300,000 Twitter followers now.
Yeah.
And when he started, it wasn't anywhere near that. It was like,
what the hell else was he going to do in a bear market? Like that was probably the best way he could have spent his time, was just getting attention and getting eyeballs.
Yeah.
So I think the people that could see that understand it. Obviously, if you're on the outside looking in, it looks completely different. And people like Raoul Paul, he just doesn't get it. Like I think he thinks that everyone's been scammed some way. He was late to ETH. He's going to be late to HEX. They don't actually get what's going on. On your point about the price tangent, I reckon if it had have launched in the last year or so, people would have had a chance to buy cheaper than the sacrifice price. Yep.
Maybe. Or close to it.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen this time. Like I don't know many people that
I agree with you. I agree with you. It's if the market is this bullish.
If you've sat on this shit for 2 years, now obviously there's retarded people that will.
We're about to crack 200 viewers, by the way, which we have not done since the last bull market.
I agree with you. I agree with you guys that there have been but keep in mind, my comment was never to say with certainty that what the difference was or that it was a negative difference. I was just saying it can't be known. Like, as in,
No, that's true.
You would need a parallel universe where it launched at specific times for you to see how that was going to impact, and it matters when you actually want to sell, which, like we've all agreed, is probably, for most people, it's probably not for a while anyway.
I think that the whole momentum and dynamic has changed now. So I think the likelihood of you getting in at sacrifice price is very, very low.
I think very low.
Now that doesn't mean it's not going to dip, but I think the dip will come off the back of a run. So it'll pump up, and then you'll get jeets that sell it down, and that's fine. That's always going to happen. Pretty much every project does that, and that's probably your entry point if you missed out. If you're trying to DCA in, that's what you're looking for. But I just
historically, most projects, like say using the ICO era as an example, most projects did not go under their pre-sale prices until the founders started dumping. Yep. So it's not usually the users that
the VCs
fuck the price. It's the VCs and the founders and all the team allocation and the exchanges and the influencers that get free tokens and all that shit. And we don't have any of that nonsense. It's so that same critical distribution aspect was the same for HEX, and you saw what that did, and now it's going to be the same for Pulse. You've got majority holders. All holders are people who actually believe in the project.
Yep. So, you've got there's big whales, but I can't see them being the kind of people that are going to dump their bags. But we know the caliber of some of the people that have brought those big bags. They've held ETH since the ICO. They've held the ETH even to this day. They're not.
There's always another level that people can be like, yo, if I hold on to this for another 2x, I could be richer than like Elon Musk. So it doesn't actually, you know what I mean? It's like,
but you get to a point where you're getting outsized gains. You've got excess money sitting there that you can't do anything with. Like it's treated better there. Like if you sell it down, you're just going to get fucking walloped with massive taxes and things like that. And you don't even need the money. So if you're already doing really well in life, that's how you keep growing your pot. You just keep acquiring more assets, and just let time do the work.
I've got a question for you guys. It's actually a question from Richard Hart in his most recent tweet. Have you chosen which computer you're going to test being a PulseChain validator on?
I've got so many computers, man. I've got
My answer is no. I haven't decided.
I've got gaming. I've got like proper gaming computers, which is probably, I've been told that that's like pretty adequate for running PulseChain as a node, as a non-validating node.
Yeah, if you're not doing validation, I don't think you need anything too expensive or beefy.
I think you still want something that's not completely shit.
Oh yeah,
like
it won't sink otherwise.
I actually don't answer that. So
no, ask the question, and then
do you think that is another hint that he's like saying, yo, it's so imminent, you need to, like,
I think so.
You need to think about this because it's like you're about to need to know the answer to this question like imminently, i.e. V3 launch?
Yeah, because you're going to want to test running the node on V3. You're going to want to test it, right?
Wait,
I know I am.
43. We need to,
like, what kind of nodes are there going to be? Like, what are they going to? What are the different types of nodes? I mean, if we're just copying what Ethereum does, it's going to be Aragon's going to be bigger, right? Aragon's, I think, bigger than Geth. Like,
not sure. I don't. Geth used to be bigger. I don't know whether it's changed on proof of stake or not. I don't know. I'm so out of the loop on.
I'm trying to think what my. I need to go check what my node. I actually got rid of Aragon on my node.
Mm.
It was just taking up too much shit, and I had Geth just sitting there, so I'd switch that back on.
You've probably got, out of all of us here, you've probably got the most experience running EVM validators, I'd imagine.
Bro, I just am a fucking script kiddie, fucking click monkey. I don't know shit. Okay, I just somehow read the instructions, get shit to work. It fucking works because smart people made it work, and I just click some buttons. I do not know shit. Okay, I'm completely aware that I do not know shit, but I get it to work.
Well, you've got more knowledge than the rest of us because none of us have even done that. Well, Tangent's probably done a little bit of that.
Do you think there's a benefit to us running it on, say I've got like multiple computers? If we run it on, if one person runs it on multiple computers, does that help or not really? Like, because you're still one entity, right? Like you're still a single point of fact. So it might make the network look better, but in reality, like if the internet goes down at my house, they all go down. If I like stop maintaining them, they all go down. It's like you might as well just run one, yeah.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to who they pair with and how they get. I can't remember what the terminology was, but they get.
I think I agree, man. If you're going to run two, run it at a different location. Like you're going to run another one.
Run it at a friend's house or like a.
It depends what you're trying to protect against.
Yeah, it depends if you want to broadcast shit to the network and like what's
no, it's just the goal being to support the network. The goal being to genuinely support the network is like. Yeah. And so I guess there's two ways of supporting the network. There's like in the technical sense, and then there's in the cosmetic visual sense that when people look at it, they're like, oh my God, look how many nodes are running on this network. It's epic. Yeah. So in one of them, then the answer would be yes. And then the other one, I'm not sure whether it actually has a real benefit to the network to have like one person in, like say in this one room.
I think if you're running a validator, you would want to run a reliable one. You'd be better off
if you're if you're validating, then most people probably couldn't afford to run multiple. But like if you're just running the nodes, just the non-validating nodes.
Mr. Maddie Allen has said you can run 100 validators on one computer. This is common. Game Theory Gang interviewed the dev last week.
So are they sharing the
are they sharing the
database?
Blockchain?
Yeah.
It must be. But that means you can almost like fake the number of validators on the network if everyone can just do 100 on. So I could run like 100 on every computer in here and have like 1,000 nodes.
Yeah, don't know. You'd have to understand.
All right, no one else needs to do shit. I've got this.
I can't see how you'd have more than one executable writing to the database.
Yeah, it almost sounds like cheating. Like as in.
Yeah,
but he said they had a dev. So it's not just someone clowning.
Yeah, don't know. I haven't put enough time into understanding it, to be honest.
Oh, then I don't even need to use multiple computers. You just do it all on one computer then. If the goal is just to make the network look good. Anyway, it's probably not worth us spending a lot of time on this.
So Maddie, do you know any of the technical details, whether they were all sharing the one database or that's a database?
It must be. It must be. Otherwise, you would take if you had to re-download the blockchain on every node. Because remember, the full history of Ethereum is going to be on these chains, right?
Yeah, I think it's 2 terabyte or something.
Actually, we have on those. Do you guys remember on the other? Because on the other test nets, I never actually downloaded a node. I only just played around on the actual test net. So do you guys know if the blockchain was truncated to like have a start point? Because if all Richard is doing is taking the balances of no, because it's not. It's all the contracts as well. Wait, yeah. If he's taking the token balances and the contracts, but not the history, I think that could theoretically work unless some of these protocols need their history to be able to function. I think it's going to need the entire history. I think it's going to need the entire Ethereum history to work. Otherwise, most of these protocols will break.
Yeah, you got.
I guess it depends how functiony he wants the protocols. He might not care if they break.
Yeah, but he needs it for HEX. You got to.
Of course. Yeah. I think we've actually discussed this before. Yeah,
I don't know how the. I'm not sure
You
how
need
it
the
works with the
entire
state. I'm not sure how it works with the state of the contract. Like whether you can just take the snapshot of the contract state.
I'm almost certain you need the entire history. You do. Because it's all the transfers that have ever been done between users, all the contract interactions. You need the chain. You need the state. So that means that the blockchain for Pulse is going to start heavy. Like it's going to be a heavy chain.
Wouldn't you only need it from December 2000 or November 2019? Technically, if you need the whole, like, if you're just talking about HEX.
If you own, yeah, but that would be that. You know how he doesn't want to do favoritism? Like that would look like favoritism. Like, oh, we only took the blockchain so that our protocol doesn't break, but everything else breaks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think you've just got to go full chain. Otherwise, it shows that there's favoritizing HEX. Like it's just not.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it.
I'm almost certain. You need the entire history.
Yeah, it's about under 2 terabytes for.
Yeah. It's not crazy. And maybe what Pulse can do is like have a where you download rather than actually downloading and verifying the blockchain through its entire history. Although it looks like that's what they've been doing, which is what takes so long.
No, that's because they've had to. But once you've got one that can seed it out to everyone.
Oh yeah, then they might be able to give a fast download thing. But remember that introduces trust. So if you care, you should actually download and validate the entire chain. If you trust, but everyone trusts the core devs enough.
So I don't recognize this name in the chat. No, wrong person. I don't recognize this name in the chat, but they remember that I have a Vespa. Now ask me if I can run a node. That's actually a really good idea. That's a really, really good idea.
You would need Elon's Starlink or whatever because it needs to be connected to the net.
Yeah.
As you drive around.
Can you imagine you could like do trustless transactions on the fly anywhere on a Vespa that had
you should go around the country.
You already can.
With your HEX Vespa.
You already can. Just get the wallet on your phone to refer to the node at your house. You don't need a mobile node. You only need your wallet to be.
I'm talking about being totally autonomous, you know?
It is
totally autonomous.
It is.
Your node, like for in my situation, I was in Italy, right? So if my node goes down in Australia, kind of screwed. But with this idea, dude, you are absolutely autonomous. You can go up Mount Etna, recharge, like plug into geothermal.
Maybe if you're expecting to have to flee or something, like your bug out bag has like a Starlink satellite and a Pulse node, so that you can.
Bag has a Vespa. My bug out bag.
I used to laugh at the preppers with their bug out bags. I'm heading that way a lot more myself these days. They don't seem so crazy.
I've mentally had a bug out bag for a while. Actually, I've never actually physically packed it, but I'll definitely get there.
Guys, we've been going for about
close to 3 hours.
About 3 hours.
There's a tweet here. It must be a Photoshop that Elon Musk was tweeting out saying about HEX. That's got to be a fucking Photoshop, right?
I did see someone had posted that somewhere.
That's surely.
It's the perfect time for it.
Is that like? Can Elon Musk sue over that shit? If you like, is that like a fraudulent, like you misrepresenting someone if they?
Oh, is this
like, not that he would, but
the HEX tile thing?
Yeah, it's like
he put that out ages ago. I remember that one going around bloody 2 years ago.
Oh, so it was a real tweet, but he's talking about something else.
Yeah, he's talking about he's literally testing the tiles. It must be just something to do with SpaceX.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so we've been going for a couple of hours. I think it's time to wind it
And
up.
we're just sitting on that 10 cents. We might be here just consolidating at the highs before the next leg up. So take a break, guys. Have a drink of water, have a deep breath, hit the gym, and when you come back, we'll probably be at 20 cents. So
what an awesome stream tonight with everyone in the chat. A bunch of legends, Hexicans that have been strong for 1.5 years in the bear market. You guys have just grit your teeth. We've got through it together. It's been awesome. We are coming out of it at like 10 cents. That means something. Double digits, baby, double digits. So just before we wind it up, final words, Jexa.
Strap in. It's going to be an interesting ride. This is just getting started. If we haven't even seen FOMO kick in yet, once you see V3 drop and everyone gets a sniff of this is their last chance to get a duplication of HEX, it's going to get real. So enjoy it. Have fun.
Agreed. I mirror that, and keep an eye on Richard's tweets for when V3 drops, because it's going to be, I think it should be today, like today or tomorrow, but probably today.
I'm
very,
not sure
very,
it'll be very close.
Very exciting, guys.
It's going to be pretty cool.
Times. It makes me feel this is taking me back to, it feels like 2020 again. You know, there was so much excitement. Right now feels like 2020. If you're pretty new to HEX and you're feeling the electricity right now, this is what it felt like in the beginning. Where we are right now, it's feeling really, really. It feels amazing, actually.
I would argue that the events surrounding us at the moment are more bullish than they've ever been, in terms of you've got a new chain, you've got the macro going on, we've got all influences.
That doco, dude. That doco. When that doco comes out.
Jexa, I literally tweeted that the other day, where I was like, on Sunday night, I said, if these weekly closes close the way I am expecting them to close, it will literally be the most bullish I have ever been in my crypto journey of over a decade.
Yep.
And obviously, you listed some of the factors that are involved in that, like PulseChain coming out, everything that's going on.
It's a perfect storm, I think.
Perfect storm, yeah.
Just another thing, you know that ROI chart that I brought up with BTC, ETH, and HEX. Obviously, I don't think we're going to beat BTC to that 12,000x, but if HEX was to go higher, the earlier it went higher than the BTC ROI, the longer Richard Hart would have to brag about it until BTC goes over it again.
Like, because if it crosses at the low, like as in
if it crosses when BTC was already coming down, its ROI was coming down.
Yeah.
Right. Rather than crossing over when it's further across.
I see what you're saying.
If it crosses over closer to the start, then there would be more bragging that can be done about beating BTC again, like on that ROI metric.
You just reminded me something really important I wanted to mention. I mean, it's not that critical, but
slam the likes, everyone, before you leave.
Oh yeah,
slam the likes.
Hit like or get the fuck out. That's Matty Allen. I'm stealing that from Matty Allen. He's like, he says that on his streams. He's like, by the way, guys, hit the like or get the fuck out. Like, I want you guys to leave if you're not going to hit the likes.
I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna steal that as well.
Steal it, man. I think it's great. So what I've noticed that we've got in the HEX community is each person has got something, pretty much, like I've noticed, like, this is a broad statement, but like each person has found something that they like to report on when it happens. So like Richard's got the lava, floor is lava tweets. Some people have got like the market cap ranking sites when we do overtakes. Some people will do crypto bubbles. Some people will do like looking at fucking other shit like the GitHub. I know that's only relevant to the launch of PulseChain, but like certain people have got things that they look at and then they like to tweet out about it. So it's like we've got this social network of people who are monitoring these stats and then bragging about it when the time comes. And so, and I've just noticed that like everyone does different shit. Like everyone's looking at different things. I was one of the earliest people to, whenever Ivan on Tech used to mention anything to do with Hex or PulseChain, I would clip it and put it. And I was quite surprised that I was the only person doing it, but other people are doing other shit. So it was like, and now it's just like, there's too many to clip because he does it every day. But I just love the fact that it's like, there's someone is sitting there waiting for certain, like, so this metric that you're talking about, the ROI versus other coins from their start point and stuff. There's so many metrics that Hex is about to start shining on, and there's going to be someone looking at it ready when it comes time. I started doing the one where it's like,
that's a really good point. Sorry, I just want to jump in. That's a really good point. And guys in the chat, guys listening right now, you got, like, we're all Hex. You guys are the ones who are going to need to do it. I mean, we've all done it. Like, I've done clips, we've done streaming. You guys, if you see something, clip it, like tweet about it, do something like that. That's what Hex is about.
Pull your finger out, man.
Decentralized community.
You don't do anything.
Like, what's that?
So T-Bird, pull your finger out. You don't do anything on Twitter.
Sarcasm,
by the way,
sarcasm.
I saw a top 10 chart, and I sort of cut you off tangent, and I didn't let you get back to your
That's
point.
all good.
Let me just say this one thing first. There was a top 10 chart of like prominent Twitter hexicans. T-Bird was in there, right?
I was on
right
that.
up there. You,
I was in that top 10.
I think KDP and you. So, and of all of the people in there, you guys are like three of the few that are in there that actually show their face and are visible in the community and prominent Aussie hexicans.
I don't know how they measured that. I'm not sure how they measured.
Irrelevant.
True. Yeah, it's relevant. I liked that shit. The other one I was going to say that I just remembered that I've been doing, and this is an example of one where it's like I stole this from Bitcoin. So you can see if there's some metric that they've been using in other coins. If it's easy to do, like this one, you just measure it off the chart. It's number of days that if you bought and held the asset that you would be not underwater, like that you would be break even or profitable. So it's like there is a fancy term for it. It's like net unrealized profit. No, that's to do with the 200-day moving average. So Mayer multiple is just whether you're above or below the 200-day.
We need a Mayer multiple for Hex.
Yeah, we could have all sorts of stats that have been used successfully to create bullishness in other assets like Bitcoin and port them over. But this one I think is specifically powerful because it highlights that you're saying anyone in the last, and so now it's over 300 days, by the way. So I think it's like right now it's 303 days. And in fact, now it will be even higher now that we've gone over 10 cents. But you're saying, so 300 days is like getting on close to a year, right? Like that's for the last 300 days, you could have bought Hex at any time, not staked it. And right now you would be break even or in profit. And the break even is like the microsecond 300 days ago, because those candles were very aggressive down. So it's like you could even just take that caveat out about the break even and say you're in profit if you bought and didn't sell and didn't stake anytime in the last 300 days, you would be in profit. And it's like, I think that takes the fear out of it a little bit, where you're like, oh wow, like there's been like an ample amount of time to have bought this asset and not be getting smashed by it.
Yeah. Yep. I really would like to do a Mayer multiple for Hex.
Yeah, it's an easy one. It's an easy one.
Yeah, it's easy. And then you could have one with staked Hex as well.
Speak to Crispy. He's all over that sort of stuff.
And then you could have a slider which slides for T-shares, like where you are on the length of stake from 0 to 10 years to like,
I think
because your return changes.
I think as soon as you involve any kind of shit to do with staking or T-shares and shit, it fucks it up, because it makes it, you can't generically produce a result because it's different for everyone.
You'd have to have one that's
you have,
just
unless you have an
regular.
assumption where it's like a single T-share or like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, as in, because everyone's staking behavior is different, so everyone has different shit, and it's.
Yeah, you're right. It gets.
I think
I'd need a mathematician to.
I like Richard Hart's approach, where you just say, this is the stat. We're smashing the fuck out of all of these coins. We're just obliterating Bitcoin. We're obliterating the fuck out of everything. And by the way, that doesn't even include staking. Like, if you include staking, it's even better, but it's variable. How much better? Variable by your staking behavior. But
yeah. Like, we did a 10,000x.
Better.
We did a 10,000x, and it was 20,000x if you staked.
And over big payday, like if you staked the entire time. Yeah. So yeah. I like it.
General market is looking green, guys. So it's
yes, that's also good. Oh, by the way, I've been saying that shit as well. That like when Bitcoin and the market is healthy, HEX is a win-win, because it's like HEX is either going to go up on its own merits and because of PulseChain and all that shit, or it's going to go up with the market. And remember, it's shown delay all through the tail end of the bear and the start of the bull. It's had delayed. So when Bitcoin and ETH and shit are pumping, you're like, well, if HEX continues to show delay, then we're due for a pump. And we're also probably just due for a pump anyway because of PulseChain. And so it's like, you've got your choices are up or really up. It's like up or double up is the only options. Yeah.
Really important point. We're close to the launch of PulseChain. The PulseChain fork means that you're going to get a copy of all your ERC20 tokens on PulseChain. So what you hold at the time of the fork, you're going to get a copy of them in PRC20 form on PulseChain. Don't forget that. That's very important. People forget that.
Yeah, I can't wait to start shilling, man.
If you sell your shit now, you're not going to have that copy on PulseChain.
I'm going to be shilling. I'm going to be. You can shill. This is the universal shill. This gives you the right to shill to everyone in crypto, to shill PulseChain to everyone in crypto, which is the funnel to HEX. So like, you just go and you're like, yo, by the way, you got free shit, and it's like you're just speaking a fact. Like, no one can be like, oh, you're shilling. I'm not shilling, bro. Like, and technically you are shilling, but like, you're like, I'm not shilling. I'm just telling people what they're entitled to. Like, you don't want to be aware of free money that you just got gifted. Like, no one can really. It removes that. It removes that shilliness of you just going into a chat and being like, "Hey guys, buy HEX." Like, you know what I mean? It shields the shill. Right. It's a shielded shill.
What you should be doing is going into the exchange telegrams and the like, and asking the exchange providers.
Oh yeah.
Are you
going to give me my?
Are you going to honor our copies?
That's a good one, actually, because then anyone in that chat sees that.
And they go, "Oh, like, hang on, we got free coins."
Free coins, what the shit?
And there was just recently, I think, they're launching a class action against, is it Coinbase? I think.
Damn.
Because they haven't honored. I think it was the Fleur network that's related to XRP.
Oh, they did some kind of airdrop. Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
So people, when they get their free money taken off of them, they will arc up.
What the shit? There's a picture. Now I don't know if this has been photoshopped. This is even crazier than the Elon Musk HEX tweet. It's a picture of Craig Wright holding up a T-shirt that says, "We are all Satoshi except for Craig Wright."
That's got to be photoshopped.
That's got to be photoshopped, right? Unless like, I don't know. He's a bit of a dumb fuck. Like, he might think that's funny, or like, that's actually classic though. So yeah, I've got really high hopes for what HEX is going to do relative to everything else. Like, I think that this is the cycle that the shine gets so bright that it starts blinding fools.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that one. You're muted, 43.
Oh, Vibra Finance, are those guys doing a stream? If they are, I think people are talking about raiding them. Go and raid Vibra Finance. We're gonna wind it up. We're gonna wind it up. Guys, awesome stream. Thank you so much
great stream.
for coming on and talking. And thank you to everyone in the chat. You know, my Hexagon compadres and comadres. Is that a thing?
Let's go with it.
I'm going to make it a thing.
Make it
a thing. Yeah. Peace out, guys. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.